There's a profile of Rob Burrow. In the match build-up, we'll see all the big questions answered. In our Challenge Cup challenge, we'll see some big reputations destroyed along the way. Well, the Cup finalists both coming into this afternoon's match on the back of defeats. Leeds and Hull last weekend beaten by Bradford and Wigan, respectively. And as our studio guest this afternoon, we've got the triumphant coaches, Ian Millward and Brian Noble. Brian, that victory against Leeds last weekend, does that make you rethink what Leeds might be able to achieve here this afternoon?
I don't think so, no. I think it'll give them the inspiration and the wake-up call, if that's the right thing, you know. There's a lot of things told about the game before where you ask the players to be focused and to concentrate. If you don't play well, you won't be in the team. And the reality is they still have one eye on that. So that may have taken a little bit of polish off their performance last week. But we were pretty good as well. So it'll just reinforce a few messages for their coach, Tony Smith. I just think Leeds just might have a bit too much today.
And Hull have got a great chance, but bad news yesterday, Ian. The loss of Sean Briscoe through appendicitis. Dreadfully disappointing for a very talented young player, but a big blow to the side as well.
Well, besides being talented, he's probably one of the most likeable men in the game. He's a fantastic kid, and you know, I think everyone in the game hearts go out to him, because if he's sitting at home now, this is something he would have dreamt of, being in a cup final. But Hull, you know, I think they've got a great chance here today. We were fortunate enough to beat them last week in Super League Wigan, but I thought they needed that run. The previous week they played Lee. I thought it was a very soft game, and it wasn't the game to get them battle-hardened for this big spectacle today. And I thought they needed that. They responded very well in the second half, and they were very, very good in regard to accumulating points. And I thought they need that game, and with that game, I think they'll win today.
Could be a close one, could be a classic. You've both come here, you've both won the Challenge Cup here at the Millennium Stadium. The fans are coming here, as we say, for the last time. It'll be all off to the new Wembley Stadium next summer. And, well, for the third time, it's a great success, the Cardiff Adventure, and it's a sellout for the third straight year. 74,000 plus inside the stadium. And the teams, when they arrived, I'm sure, were very conscious of the scale of the support in Cardiff city centre and the kind of atmosphere those fans will generate. Victory is expected, for sure, of these Leeds players. Although very few players today have cup final experience. These Hull players, it's a whole new experience for all of them. None have played in a cup final before. Well, Claire Balding is with the facts.
Well, people talk about what a fabulous atmosphere it is at the Challenge Cup final, and these are the people that make it so good. So let's have a word with a few of them. We've got some very young Hull fans here, a couple of Leeds fans and some neutrals as well. Start with you guys. Now, you are mad keen rugby league fans.
Very.
We are, yeah.
How keen?
We got married on a Friday so we could go to the grand final on a Saturday.
Come on, all.
Well, there's some very vocal Leeds supporters around. Are you sure you're going to win today?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Now, what about you lot? You're here supporting Hull. What chance have you got?
Hull. 10 out of 10.
Yeah?
10 out of 10 chance. We've got a 10 out of 10 chance like every other team has.
Tell me about your journey down from Hull. When did you set off?
2 o'clock on the Thursday.
So you've stayed down here for a couple of nights?
Yeah.
Now, you have been to a Challenge Cup final before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It was good.
When was it?
Last year. And it was Wigan versus Saints.
But will it be more fun this year? Because obviously your team's in it, be a bit different.
Yeah.
OK, well, actually, talking of Wigan, we've got some Wigan fans here. So why turn up to this?
The atmosphere, the fans, there's never any trouble. It's just a real good day out.
And did you time your holiday so you could make it?
Yeah, we got back last night, 2 o'clock, so we could come today.
Well, I hope you have a fun time, and I hope for all you guys it's worth it. Good luck. Thanks.
Come on, Leeds. Come on,
Well, we've been allowed absolutely fabulous access here at the Millennium Stadium. I'm allowed to go into the Leeds Rhinos dressing room. Some of the players are just about to make their way out onto the pitch, but Leeds coach Tony Smith is here. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Yeah, pretty relaxed.
Well, it's your first Challenge Cup final, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for me. A few of the players have had experience before, but yeah, mine.
One of your more experienced players has been the subject of all the conversation leading up to the match, Keith Senior. Is he playing?
Yeah.
He is?
Yeah, we've said so for a few days. There's never really been too much doubt about it.
So who does that mean misses out?
We've got a few people who miss out, but Barry Mack, he'd probably be the one that misses out of the 18 that we've announced.
OK, now what's your feeling going into the match? You're hot favourites with the bookies.
We're not gamblers, so it doesn't matter too much in that regard. No, we're just going to do our best like we do every time we go out in the field, and that's all I can ask from the players, and they're looking forward to getting out there and doing their best.
OK, well, Tony, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Claire.
And Brian Noble, what's your reaction to that? You saw the injury to Keith Senior last weekend. I bet you can hardly believe he's playing today.
I thought it was far more serious for him to show up today, but they've obviously worked overtime, the medical staff. I think there's an element of gamble there. I don't think he'll be 100%, but he's a huge talisman for Leeds. You know, when he went off last week, it kind of deflated their team for a short period of time, and we were allowed to make the most of that. So they needed him out there, and they've had the MASH unit out and got him ready. So it all depends how quickly the painkillers wear off.
Yeah, and Barry McDermott missing out. It can be a very cruel occasion, this, can't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, when you've got everyone fit and available, you've got to make some tough decisions, and that's what we get employed as coaches. Whether we get it right or wrong, that time will tell. But, obviously, the emotional part for Barry, it's in his testimonial season, and also he's a big match player, and he's a player that, I thought would have done fairly well today because he's got footwork for a big man, and this Hull pack is a big pack, and it's an area that they're going to have to dominate Leeds if they want to beat Hull.
So maybe a couple of gambles there for Tony Smith. Keith Senior plays, Barry McDermott is out, Leeds firmly installed as the favourites, Hull the underdogs, so they say, but that's exactly what we said at the semi-final stage when Hull produced that extraordinary win against the mighty St Helens, a convincing win, a win by some margin. Eddie Butler now reflects on that great performance.
The well-drilled goose step of the Challenge Cup holders. The favourites again to take the whole St Helens family to yet another final. And Hull, who hadn't beaten Saints in a Challenge Cup for nearly 70 years and who hadn't been to a final for 20 years. How could they possibly win? Saints apparently with all the aces. Last year's man of the final, Sean Long. The burlier Paul Anderson in the forwards. It seemed that Saints would soon be on their way. But somehow Hull kept them out. And then one delayed pass by Paul Cook later, and Shane McMenemy was over, and Hull were on their way. Hull ganged up on the ball carriers. And then they made a few holes themselves. And then a hole in the Hull defence at last. But no. In the search for star performances, a figure in blue was emerging, Paul Cook. And Hull 8-2 up at half-time. Saints hadn't lost since Daniel Anderson took over as coach in May. He might have had a word at half-time. Long going high. Gareth Rayner fumbling, and Jamie Lyon over. Lyon's try, Long's conversion, the score's level. It only inspired Hull. And Cook, the loose forward on the loop, and over the line. It was one of those days for Cook, who just served a one-match ban for headbutting. Here, he was ice cool up top. The offload, the pause, the toe poke, and a second try from McMenemy. Richard Whiting leading another attack. A.D. Gardner back in defence. Another bouncing ball close to the line. Try for Motutoni. The cup holders had just let go of their trophy. There was the demolition job to complete. Hull's fifth try, delight for Richard Horne. And for coach John Keir, he did the impossible with the Sheffield Eagles 7 years ago. He'd done it again. His Humberside on their way to the banks of the Taff. Hull heading for Cardiff. For the holders, a nosedive. But taking a dive on such a day in Huddersfield didn't always mean a fall.
Well, here's a man who doesn't mind looking at those pictures again, the whole coach, John Keir. But for your players, none of them have ever been in a Challenge Cup final before.
No, but we don't see that as a negative point. We see it as a plus point because they've come here and they're embracing the occasion rather than being frightened of it. And they know it's one of the biggest stages in rugby league, and if they perform well in this, they can make a household name of themselves.
And they also, I'm sure, know that they are the underdogs, but they also know they've got the coach who comes here, or comes wherever the Challenge Cup final is staged, and wins with the underdogs.
Yeah, we're happy to play the underdog card. I mean, Leeds, obviously, they've been in a great seam of form. They're the world champions, so they'll fancy the chances. But we're just quietly coming here, getting on with our work, and we'll sneak in around the side entrance.
You're one setback, and this is a horrible thing to happen in the week before the match, with Sean Briscoe, appendicitis.
Yeah, well, at 12 o'clock yesterday, Claire, Sean was playing, and he'd complained of feeling on the bus journey down, but we just thought it was the travel sickness or a 24-hour bug. But when he then woke up the next day and he told the physio that he'd got pains in his side, that the alarm bells rang, and we took Sean along to the hospital, and obviously they kept him in, and they've operated. So now Sean's had an appendix operation, and they'll be watching from home. So all the best, Sean, and get well soon, and we'll do it for you, son.
A real shame for him. And your opposite number, Tony Smith, told me earlier that there seems to have been a miracle recovery. Keith Senior will play, which, judging from your quotes in the papers, means you better be playing as well.
Yeah, unfortunately I forgot my boots, Claire. But yeah, but it is a miracle recovery. I mean, the Leeds medical staff have already earned their money if Keith gets out there, and obviously he'll be a thorn in our side, he always is. But we're concentrating more on what we're doing. We know that we'll perform well. If we perform well, we'll give ourselves every chance.
Well, if you perform like you did in the semi-final, you'll win. Good luck, John.
Thank you, Claire.
Well, exactly. John Keir, Brian and Ian, needs his Hull side to produce that same kind of performance that they did in that semi-final. What will be the match plan? Will it be something similar to what they produced against St Helens, that very strong kicking game?
Well, I think they're going to hang their hat on that. They've got to start the game well. To have any chance in this game, they've got to start the game well. And it's interesting, I was talking to Ian before, a few stats he's thrown at me in respect of Leeds. They throw the ball around like nobody else. They offload better than anybody else. In the tackle, they'll find a play that most other teams can't find a play. So it really means they've got to stay alert for the whole 6 players of their defensive sets to be in the chance of the game. I think that's the challenge for them. But you see there, everything they can find to be a negative and a positive, they're finding, dragging, you know, they're doing things now for Sean Briscoe. Those kind of things can inspire. We lost Michael Withers the day of a Challenge Cup final a couple of years ago against Leeds here. Put Scott Naylor in, and it helped inspire the boys. So they'll be very, very focused and very, very determined.
Right through this competition, there seems to have been a sort of Challenge Cup destiny sort of surrounding Hull. Do you get that feeling as well?
Yeah, it does, and it's probably something they focused on, and I think it's great for rugby league because it could become a powerhouse up there on Humberside. But they've earned it. You know, their semi-final win was outstanding, and they've beaten Super League teams to get through all the way through. They haven't had any easy games, and they've been fantastic. And just touching on what Brian said on some stats there, at the moment, Leeds make double the amount of clean breaks, breaking the defensive line, than any team in Super League. They have 12. Hull only have 6. So defensively, they're going to have to be really good here today, Hull. And offloads, they're known as the best in Super League for getting offloads, and they nearly have double on Hull there. So defensively, it's a big ask. But one thing as a coach or a fan going into a big game, you want a big pack of forwards, and you want to win up front in the trenches. And that's where Hull have got, I think, a little bit of dominance here today. So defensively, if they work as a unit, I think they can make some real good progress here today.
OK, we'll try and provide as many more answers regarding what might happen here this afternoon as our build-up progresses. But right now it's Claire Balding with part 1 of our Challenge Cup Challenge.
Welcome to the Willows Variety Club, home of the Salford Reds, and officially the North's #1 cabaret club. It says it on the big billboard outside, so it must be true. Now, in our lineup tonight, we have a bruiser of a Big Mac, we have a Whopper, a choc chip cookie, a saintly sinner, the voice of rugby league, and a nice pair of cauliflower ears, and a former male model. It's up to you to decide which one is which as we play host to the Challenge Cup Challenge. There's huge debate now going on about who was the former male model. Now, first up, a man who knows his rivals inside out and upside down. A prop forward who started his career with Leeds but is now a crucial part of the Hull setup. Dubbed Mr. Consistency by the local press, he's played in every single match this season. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big hand for Ewan Dowes. Ewan, his Hull teammate, and a man who's been on fire in the Challenge Cup so far this season with 46 points and counting. He's in the running for the Man of Steel for the first time. He's a powerhouse on the pitch, but he's not that keen on weights, bikes and treadmills. I'm reliably informed that his favourite piece of gym equipment is the wall-to-wall mirror. But when you play the way he has been this season, you can afford to fancy yourself a bit. The Hull standoff, Paul Cook. And captaining the Hull team for tonight, a man who will be describing the action when we come to the final itself. As a player, he was one of the first ever dual-code internationals. He won the Challenge Cup with St Helens in 1966. He's one of the most recognisable and well-loved faces in sport. As you can see, the distinguishing features were there in his early years. I'm thinking hair and ears. He taught English at Cowley High School and has translated that eloquence and kindly intelligence to his job with the BBC. The captain of the Hull team tonight is Ray French. Now to Leeds Rhinos, a club who only have one piece of silverware missing from their trophy cabinet at the moment, and this is it. So not surprisingly, they have called up the hard man. They've got him on board tonight. If there's any nonsense, I'll be running for cover, I can tell you. He's played in 3 cup finals, scoring a try in the 1999 win. He's not shy, but he is retiring at the end of this season after 15 years as a pro. Ladies and gentlemen, the Great Britain international prop and renowned super softie, Barry McDermott. Alongside him, his youthful teammate and fellow international, a man Barry described as the Peter Perfect of the dressing room. He's been not far off perfect on the pitch too, scoring over 1,000 points since he made his Leeds debut at the age of 16. His kicks win matches, so too does his quality and his vision. The Leeds captain, Kevin Sinfield. Now, Kevin's not captain tonight because that honour goes to a superstar, and I say that because that's one competition he has won. He did play in a Challenge Cup final, allegedly, with Widnes, but never lifted the cup itself. Having said that, he is one of the greatest all-round rugby players of either code. He was Man of Steel in 1994 and twice Players' Player of the Year. He captained Great Britain, 13 caps in all and 112 points. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Davis. So those are your teams, Leeds Rhinos against Hull. It's time for the Challenge Cup Challenge. Now we have 6 pictures, 1 for each of you. It is 2 points for a correct answer. If you get it wrong, it can go on offer to the other team. So Paul, you're first up. Pick a number.
2, please.
Number 2.
Yeah.
It's the player's head that we're looking for rather than the arm. If that's any help to you, Paul.
No, not really.
You can confer if Ewan or Ray have any helpful comments for you.
I think it's Marcus Pye. Could be. What do you think? It's a blue jersey. Eh? I think Marcus Pye. It's not Chev Walker, is it? No. Chev Walker's not shaved his head, has he? I don't think.
Chev's over there.
Oh, he's in the audience.
I tell you, I think there's a fair amount of confidence on the Leeds team here. They think they've got it.
Go for Marcus Pye.
Marcus Pye, I'm afraid, is incorrect. So, Leeds, Barry's been looking confident. What do you write down?
Is it Anthony Farrell?
It's not. The answer is Tommy Martin, winner of the Challenge Cup and Super League with Saints, now coaching
Tommy
Leeds.
Martin.
Kevin, your turn.
Number 1 then, please.
Number 1 for Kevin. Now, 2 players, a point for each.
Sorensen.
First one, yeah. Who's the other one?
Kurt Sorensen and Ellery Hanley.
You are absolutely right. Congratulations to Leeds. So, first points to Leeds. So, Ewan, you've got ground to make up.
Number 6, please.
Come on, Ray, pressure's on.
Is it Tommy Martin?
Good.
Having grown his hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Sculthorpe. Yeah. Is it Paul Sculthorpe?
It's not Paul Sculthorpe, I'm afraid. So once again, it goes on offer.
Andy Farrell.
Andy Farrell is correct, the former Great Britain and Wigan captain. The youngest ever winner of the Challenge Cup at the age of 17. You get 1 point for that, and Kevin is on fire. Next up, Barry, would you like to pick a number?
Number 4, please.
Number 4 for Barry.
Oh.
It is. Sit down, isn't it?
Oh, I know him.
Now a blast from the past here.
It's Sid Hines.
Sid Hines, indeed it is. Won the Challenge Cup as a player and as a coach for Leeds. So Ray, it's down to you to restore a bit of pride.
Number 5, Claire.
Number 5. It's another back of the head shot because we know how much you like them.
Tommy Martin again.
No pressure, if you get this wrong, that's the end of it.
Kieran Cunningham.
Kieran Cunningham, 4 times Challenge Cup winner with the Saints, is right. And finally,
Leeds.
Yes, it is, yes.
Is it? Yeah. Gary Connolly.
Gary Connolly is right. 3 times the Challenge Cup winner from 7 finals. So at the end of that round, after the picture board, Hull have 2. The leaders are Leeds Rhinos with 7.
Nick Barmby, Kath Etherington, John Prescott, your boys are taking a hell of a beating. 2 of their teammates are here, Richard Swain, the hooker, and John Keir, the coach. Richard Swain, are you disappointed with what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I hope we start a bit better on game day. Boys, come on.
We were hearing rumours beforehand that you've been working very hard. The players have actually been working harder on this than they have been in training in the last few days.
Yeah, well, I thought we'd get a bit more out of you and Dow's, a private school boy, but Cookie, street smart, I don't know about brain smart.
John Keir, psychologically, the advantage is against you at the moment. Leeds are picking it up. That could be important for the final.
Yeah, well, what we've tried to do is lull them into a false sense of security, and we're waiting for Barry McDermott to be replaced from the interchange bench, and then we'll really fire up.
He only lasts 20 minutes normally, doesn't he?
Well, that's the idea, yeah. He's done 1 round of questions, so he should be ready for a break.
OK, guys, I hope it's a bit closer at Cardiff on the day, but thanks very much. It's 7 points to 2, the lead by Leeds at the moment.
And we'll have part 2 of that Challenge Cup challenge in a few minutes' time. Hull against Leeds for real. The Powergen Challenge Cup final kicks off here in Cardiff at 2:30. Let's concentrate on one of the key players for Leeds this afternoon, and a player that even I could pick out in a mystery guest challenge. At 5'6", Rob Burrow is the smallest player in Super League, but what a huge influence he might have on this afternoon's match. As Damien Johnson now reports.
1, 2, get down!
The pocket rocket!
You're not going to catch him.
Watch that little man zip away.
Who's having the season of his life. At 5'5" and 10 stone, Rob Burrow's Super League's smallest player. Although Hull are more concerned with another vital statistic. 28 tries in 28 games prove he can play with the big boys.
It's that little man I was talking about. Rob Burrow is in.
Can I ask you about your size? Everyone asks you the same question, I know. But do you feel that some players perhaps target you a little bit, knowing that you're the smaller guy?
Oh yeah, that's definitely right. I mean, obviously it's common sense just to target somebody who is small. I mean, if somebody was smaller than me, you know, I'd run at him. It's part of the game.
I don't think he's got any fear in him, really. I mean, he's used to the big guys running at him. But I think it's the big guys who fear him more, just with his electric pace and his ability on his feet to throw a dummy and keep going.
Right from an amateur days, you know, it was a factor that the guys were a lot bigger than me, and I had to cope with it. And you know, obviously in the last few years at Leeds, I've learned techniques and ways to around it. But you know, if you can't tackle in rugby, then there's probably no place for you.
Things go against him. He's got weight, he's got size, and everything else to deal with, and he deals with it all 100%. In my opinion, he is the toughest person in his junior class.
He's over there.
I know.
Was that for his benefit?
That was for his benefit, but do you know what? Even if he comes over and tries to batter me, he's only that big, so it won't make a blind bit of difference. I'll just swat him away.
Barry was, you know, great to me when I first joined the first team, and I've been pretty much his sidekick all the way, really. Great bloke, and he certainly, any opportunities on the pitch he can do to look after me, he's there. And you know, there's plenty of lads in our team who are there, not just for me, but for everybody. We're, you know, pretty close-knit team.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility to look after him out there?
I feel a sense of responsibility to take the mick out of him on every given occasion, especially with his protruding nose and the fact that he hasn't had it broken yet. I feel it's my responsibility to try and break it in training or in and around the training ground, but he's a good lad and deserves all the credit.
Let's just talk about life off the field, because you're studying for a sports science degree here at Leeds Met University. Bit different from the usual day job.
It is, yeah. You know, fortunate for us, we get plenty of hours where we can do what we want, and for a few hours a week to come up here and just learn stuff, it's great for us, and it's an opportunity we can't be missed, really.
It is very different, isn't it, from the day to day?
It is, yeah. I mean, you get bored, really. You just get bored at home if you're not doing out, and I'll bit the hand off when the opportunity to do something like this. Obviously, short career in rugby, it'll benefit you after as well.
You've played in a Challenge Cup final before, Rob, but you can't remember too much about it, and probably a good job.
That's right, yeah. First of all, we lost, but my part in the final wasn't that big.
Burrow. He's lost it.
He's took a clout to the head there as well. It's a clash of heads, definitely a clash of heads.
Just before half-time came on, within a few minutes I took a knock to the head and was knocked out, concussed, so I can't remember much about it, until I got home and saw what happened. It was just a blur to me.
You could do with that another knock on Saturday, I'm sure.
Hopefully, yeah. You wait all your life to play games like this, and you might only get one opportunity, so you want to make the best of it.
Yes, let's wish him better this afternoon. He'll be an easy player to spot this afternoon, Ian, but from a coach's point of view, how easy is Rob Burrow to stop?
He's very, very hard. Everyone analogises with the game as the 6-foot-tall bloke and the 100 kilos. They're the hardest blokes to stop. You ask any of the big blokes, he's the hardest bloke to stop because his centre of gravity is so low. He's got fantastic speed and footwork. The other thing too, he has a very, very good kicking game. And I believe that his defensive game, a lot of people charge at him because of his size. But he's a very, very good defender, and he's a brave person. He loves contact, and as a halfback, that's what you want. You want him to go on the defensive line. He's got a lot of attributes, and I'm sure Brian's looking at him for the Tri-Series at the end of the year.
Is that right, Brian?
Absolutely. You need people that can trouble those big blokes, as Ian says there, and he does it to teams week in, week out, and he's shown an absolute bucket load of courage to get to where he's got to, because everybody from day one in his career says, is he ever going to be big enough? Yeah. He's answered every question going, and he's also had that challenge, and he's plenty big enough, plenty quick enough and plenty elusive enough, and you get to talk about him sometimes when you're behind your sticks thinking, he might be small, but he's just done us again.
Yeah. Leeds desperate for victory this afternoon for many reasons. Take a look at their record over the last 5 finals. 4 straight defeats, and that one victory, the match that they could scarcely lose against London Broncos, winning by 52 points to 16. But that is really serious underachievement for a club with the kind of resources and potential and talent that Leeds has.
But they can't hang their hat on that one. They've got to talk about their performance today and the build-up today and not getting involved in the occasion, because it's terrible. That trophy that you see there right next to you, they dangle. They show it to the players before you get out then, and once you start thinking trophy in the end of the game, you forget about the things you've got to do in rugby league to win you those kind of things. You can only genuinely aspire to that when you've done the 80 minutes of football, and that's the challenge for both teams, because the form book goes out the window. It's who handles the pressure the most, who handles preparing and playing the way that they prepared the better. Fortunately I've been involved in losses and wins in the Challenge Cup, and sometimes it's tension, sometimes it's not being relaxed enough that might cause you the problem. So they do that awful thing of dangling the ribbons on there, but you can't have it till you've gone through.
Okay. If you missed the news earlier, by the way, Keith Senior plays, Barry McDermott doesn't play for Leeds. Danny Maguire is on the bench, we understand, for Leeds, but we can grab a quick word with him now. He's pitch side with Richard Duckenfield.
Danny, the Rhinos are well used by now to being in the finals for these big trophies. Does it get any easier?
No, it certainly don't get any easier. You still get the nerves, still get all the excitement that comes with these big finals. I know me personally and all the boys are really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really tough game against a strong Hull side.
The Rhinos go into this obviously as the favourites, apart from amongst the Hull fans. Are you happy with that?
I'd say in a cup final it's a 50-50 game. There's been a lot of talk about us being favourites, but Hull have had a really tough run in the cup. They've played Bradford and St Helens, so overall they've had a tougher run, so you couldn't make them slight favourites. But like I say, it's a 50-50 game, and it's whoever performs best on the day.
Thanks, Danny. Good luck.
Cheers.
Thanks.
And we're still waiting for final confirmation of the 2 teams for this afternoon's Powergen Challenge Cup final. 2:30 kickoff for Hull against Leeds. We'll have that news hopefully in the next few minutes. In the meantime, let's go back to part 2 of the Challenge Cup Challenge.
Welcome back to the Willows, home of Search for a Star. They have the competition here every year, and I think so far the winner of it in this little competition is Kevin Sinfield. He'd had an absolute stormer of a first round. Rhinos are charging ahead. They lead 7 points to 2. That after the picture round. Hull, a little bit dull at the moment.
We've been served a few duck eggs here, Claire, to be quite honest.
Well, let's hope that round 2 will help you out a little bit more. It is the mystery personality. So the format in this round is the same as the first. 2 points for a correct answer. If you get it wrong, it will go on offer and the opposing team will get 1 point if they then get it right. So you're going to see a bit of tape. It is your job, Leeds, to identify the person making a mint. Any idea who the humbug is?
He's got it again, hasn't he?
Well, Peter Perfect.
Yes.
Peter Perfect got it again.
Kevin, who do you think it is?
Steve Ganson.
It is the referee for the final. Let's have a look. Steve Ganson at Uncle Joe's Mint Ball Factory in Wigan. Now, Barry, how come Kevin knew that and you didn't? You love
Because he's a smarty pants, yes. He's been revising for a week. Steve Ganson, interestingly enough, at a sweet factory, some would say he needs to stay away from the sweets, Steve Ganson, but I might tell him that, and he won't watch this till after the game, so I can say what I want, can't I?
I understand, actually, there may be a feed of BBC television going into the referee's dressing room, so if you want to withdraw that, I'll do it quick.
Kevin said it.
Bit of a gap opening up here.
We knew that one too.
Yeah.
The only one we've known all night.
So, Ray and the whole team,
We're
mystery
desperate.
guest number 2 is not the most accurate swinger in town.
It's early Sunday morning, the sun is coming up. I'm on the tee at 7. I'm here to try my luck. They say this game's a tough one, but I'll give it my best shot. Though the bunkers look like beaches and the greens like parking lots. Oh, Lord, what am I gonna do? Help me keep my head down, save me from those double bogey blues.
I think you're looking quite confident, Hal.
We're not too bad on this one, I think. Former Kiwi, Dean Bell.
Absolutely. Well, now, hang on. Let's have a look. It is the former Kiwi international and Wigan captain, now in charge of the Wigan Academy, Dean Bell. So, we get to put 2 points on the board. Well done. At the end of round 2, the scores are as follows. Leeds Rhinos 9, Hull have 4. Join us again for round 3, when the players will be getting up close and personal in a touchy-feely kind of way. Well, maybe it's a good thing that Barry McDermott isn't playing, because Steve Ganson was watching.
I don't know what he means by keeping off the sweets, so we'll leave it at that, but it is a good job he's not playing.
I've been doing a round of all the changing rooms and going into the various players' changing rooms, and we're going to go and talk to Catherine Jenkins later as well. I have to say, this has the strongest smell of deep heat.
It's all these old guys who are on the line, it's not me.
It is you, I can see it on your leg.
Yeah, it's me then. Yeah, we're getting well prepared and all ready to go now.
Do you get really keyed up for a match like this? Well, you haven't refereed a Challenge Cup final, have you?
I've never refereed the Challenge Cup final, 3 times reserve. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Keyed up. Not necessarily over-keyed up, but ready to referee the game, hopefully, and not the occasion.
Well, it must be difficult out there, because obviously the noise is so much more than any other match. And do you come down heavier on the players because of that, just to make sure your authority is asserted?
No, I'm refereed both of these sides many times, and the ideal today is that the players take over the occasion, not us. We want a great game of rugby league, fantastic occasion for rugby league, and let the players be the real focal point, and we'll just get on in the background and hopefully do our job for the benefit of the game.
OK, well, I hope you have a great one and enjoy the rest of the humbugs that I know you've got tucked away somewhere.
Thanks, Claire. Bye.
Is Steve Ganson in for a particularly straightforward afternoon? Is there any kind of a special feeling between these two sides this afternoon?
Well, it all depends how Steve wants to make the game control and flow, because if you're picky early, it ends up stop-start. Players get very irritated. So how he handles the big occasion will have a bearing on the rhythm of the game, and that's really important. We talk about tempo in all kinds of sport. You know, the referee can dictate tempo. So we want to see it flowing, but we want to see certain things are policed. But I think Hull got to play pretty tough early, so he might have a little bit of a problem on his hands early. It'll be interesting to see how he handles it.
When you would send a side out here for the Challenge Cup final, a Bradford side, how important was your discipline message to that
Discipline
side?
was huge, but I'd reinforce what Ian says there. I think Hull are going to try and make it physical. I don't think they'll mind giving a couple of penalties away. I think that's going to be part of their strategy to try and upset Leeds a little bit, stop their flow. Discipline plays a huge part. The start is crucial. For Hull particularly, for me, I think the first 10-15 minutes they need to be slinging punches, not literally, but be in the competition and be near nose and close. But they will have talked about the physical side of the game.
So Hull need to impose themselves early, and if they offend Steve Ganson just a couple of times, then that doesn't matter. In your view, anyway.
Well, probably would matter if it's in the wrong place at the wrong time. They've got to be smart as well. They've got to add that element of aggression with smartness. I know they kind of contradict each other, but you've got to play the game. You've got to get away with as much as you possibly can, but you've got to be smart with your aggression.
Well, Paul Cook, the Hull loose forward, will certainly be looking to impose himself early on. What a fantastic match he had against St Helens in the semi-final. And he's talking right now to Damien Johnson.
Well, Paul, I guess as a Hull lad, today means more to you than most.
Yeah, it does. It means that it's extra special for the Hull lads, but you know, it's a special day for everybody. It's a special day for the fans and the city. You know, it's a special day for the overseas and the out-of-towners as well. You know, this will be our first final in 20 years, and we're very much looking forward to it.
I guess most people have got you down as underdogs. How do you set about beating Leeds?
Well, we do what we've planned to do. I think we go through the little things, what we've planned to do. The processes will come, and the outcome, I'm sure, will take care of itself if we do all them little things correctly.
Thanks, Paul. Best of luck.
Cheers.
OK, so Leeds strong favourites, Hull the underdogs, and that's the way the Hull coach, John Keir, I suppose, would want it. The man who guided Sheffield Eagles to the most unlikely Challenge Cup final victory in history, that was back in 1998, is out to repeat the miracle once again, as Dave Woods now reports.
Your Leeds, your Bradfords, your Wigan and Saints, they've had a fair bit of success over the last few years. We've had none. These people are very, very hungry. It's 20 years since they last had success. I'm certain that there'll be a black and white wall of sound on Saturday. When you talk to the Hull spectators, immediately they bring up the Kembles, the Lulais, the Nortons and the Toplises, and they're still legends within this city. Well, your Horns and your Cooks and your Yeamans and Kings could be of a similar ilk should we be successful on Saturday. So that obviously would be a big driving force for these local lads.
Everyone was very impressed with the way you beat St Helens in the semi-final. That was perhaps one of your best performances of the year. Were you surprised yourself at how well you played that day?
Well, I'd go further than that, David. I think it's the best performance since I've been at Hull. We played to our potential. We've got some really good rugby league players within our team. We are confident in each other as a group because we really do believe that the work ethic of a group of people overcomes a group of individuals.
Game plan that day was absolutely impeccable. Is it going to take something similar to beat Leeds?
Well, it will take something similar, but each opposition presents you with different problems. I mean, we analysed one of their games recently, and there was 30-plus offloads in the Leeds game. They scored 9 tries in that game, and 8 came from offloads. So obviously that will give you an indication of one of the areas that we've really got to work upon in order to stifle the Leeds attack.
There's a natural edge always, isn't there, between Hull and Leeds, because Hull, and you being a Castleford lad appreciate this, always consider yourself as a working class lads, don't you? And Leeds are the millionaires, the posh fellas from the big city down the road. That gives it a real edge, doesn't it?
It does, yes. I mean, the good thing about Cass lads and Hull lads is that we've got chips on both shoulders, so we're well balanced.
Stephen Robinson and a beautiful ball! Yes, to John Keir! Well, that's the sort of football that Castleford are capable of.
I'm sure there is a little edge there, and it is big city against big city. It's Hull against Leeds, and it's only a sort of stride down the M62 to reach Leeds. So, yeah, there'll be a definite edge, and it'll be a great atmosphere, and I'm sure it'll be a game for everyone to savour.
A David and Goliath contest with David's throwing arm tied behind his back.
A lot of comparisons, a lot of talk about 1998 when you did it with Sheffield. What are the abiding memories of that sunny Wembley afternoon?
The best memory I've got, and I'm sure that Henry Paul won't like me reminding, was about 8 minutes from time, and they played the ball and he knocked on. And Johnny Lawless just went up and patted him on his head, and he reacted, did Henry, in a less than enjoyable way. And you knew we'd got them then. And for the last sort of 7 or 8 minutes of that game, I really drank the sort of colour and the noise and the occasion in, and that was the time really you could relax, thinking, well, we've got them now, and we're going to win the cup.
No one gave you a chance that day, but you were convinced, weren't you? A long time before the final, you were convinced that you were going to win.
Yeah, we believed greatly as a group of people, and we realised it was a one-off and it was 80 minutes, and we also knew we'd got some good rugby league players, and if we performed to our maximum potential for 80 minutes, we'd got a chance against anybody. And you know, whenever I bump into any of the players from that day, we always shake hands and have a nice little wink and exchange some great memories, and that's what the Challenge Cup does for you.
We talk about the players, Ian, but potentially what is John Keir's influence on the outcome of this match, given what he did in 1998?
Well, it's vital because he'll be a source of information for the players. He's been there, he understands the situation. You don't want to overcoach in a game like this, and you don't want to play your game before it, because nervous energy will play a big part in the game. So they've got a big advantage that he's been involved, and I think that's great for the whole players, because they haven't got any players there that have played in Challenge Cup. They do have Steve Kearney, who's played in grand finals and test matches for New Zealand, so he'll be a big influence also. But no, John will feel comfortable. Look, you've got to be relaxed. Body language is so important.
Well, this is the Hull side that he selected. It was announced just a moment or so ago, and as expected, Modu Tony replaces the unfortunate Sean Briscoe at fullback and Cook at loose forward. But it's a side there with the power among the forwards, you would say.
Yeah, they've got size, and they're in form, and they've got a great momentum at the moment, and they'd be really buoyed by that semi-final win against St Helens. But I like the size of them, you know, and the bench there with Thackeray. He's probably the in-form player this year. Another player that's put his hand up that Brian wants to play in the Tri-Series. King, a local hero, big front rower. But, you know, with Dowes and Carvel, once again, I think Kearney's the big key. I think Kearney could win man of the match today because he was outstanding in the semi-final. I thought he was outstanding against us last week to get their momentum back into the game against Wigan. And I also thought his experience in test matches, he's captain his country. I think he's the player who'll say, listen, get behind me, follow me, this is where we're going.
OK, well, you can sense the atmosphere starting to build behind us. Nobody does pre-match entertainment better than the Millennium Stadium here in Cardiff, and one of the stars of that, as ever, is that wonderful singer Catherine Jenkins. She'll be performing again, and she's taken a moment right now to talk to Claire.
She has, Stephen. You might expect that Catherine would have the most glamorous changing room in the whole stadium, but that is not the case. It looks like a school changing room for a netball team or something, doesn't it? Oh, the glamour of this game.
Yeah, it's always this referee's changing room, so I'm getting quite used to it here now.
Now, I remember seeing you sing here last year, and in the last 12 months, you've just gone completely cosmic.
You know, it's been amazing. This whole year has just completely taken me by surprise, and I really do feel like the luckiest girl in the world. I can't believe all this has happened in such a short space of time.
But you still seem very down to earth, and I watched you rehearsing earlier, and your mum's here in the corner who's been helping you get ready.
Yeah.
And you just seem that it hasn't really affected you that badly.
Well, you know, Mum would soon sort me out if I was ever acting the diva, so it's very important to me that I keep, you know, in with my family and just stay down to earth, really.
There was another Welsh singer that I tried to interview here once before a big rugby union match, in fact, called Shirley Bassey.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what? She wouldn't do it.
No, really?
So it's very nice to be talking to you. Do you get nervous, though, for things like this?
You know what, I don't, because my first big gig after signing my record contract was singing at the Wales-England rugby match, and I was panicking the whole time before that, and then I walked down the tunnel, the crowd was singing Delilah by Tom Jones, and ever since then I felt so at home and just thought everyone wants me to do well, so Tom Jones has cured me of my nerves.
Well, everybody will be singing with you again, so good luck to you, and thanks a lot to Mum as well for letting us come in here and talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
And she'll be walking out in a few minutes' time to what is always a very appreciative crowd for the pre-match entertainment here at the Challenge Cup final. And the Hull fans here in force, they gave an enormous reception to their side when they came out onto the pitch just a few minutes ago. How important a moment is it for Brian when they can release that tension and just take a stroll around the pitch, the players?
It's huge. This little bit of a warm-up will settle them down. They should be talking about what they've got to do at the start of the game. You know, technical things about finding your front. Don't overcomplicate things. Everybody get a grip of the ball. Everybody get out there, get used to the crowd, and then we'll get back in the changing rooms and get our heads around what we've got to do.
We've got the Leeds team for you now, Brian, and perhaps the surprise is the players that we've got on the bench. Maguire we know about, Duneman on the bench as well, Keith Senior in the starting lineup. What do you make of it?
I think they've been a little bit threatened, or he's been thinking about the size of the whole pack, as Ian's mentioned there. So he's gone for his biggest starting pack he could find in Bailey, Wardlower, Titi McKenna and Ellis. And, you know, they've got some strike coming off the bench, but it'll be that trench warfare that we're talking about early on that will decide the game. But they do have some game breakers coming off the bench. I think Duneman's gone terrific at 9 all year for Leeds, and he's been unlucky to get to the bench, and Maguire can break any game off the bench. So they put Sinfield in there to kick the ball primarily, but he's a bit bigger presence in and around the house, I think, and that's the reason they've gone that way.
OK, we're into the tense last half hour before the Power Gen Challenge Cup final. Tense for Kevin Sinfield and those Leeds boys, tense for everybody, but the big moment is almost upon us. Leeds against Hull, the deciding round of the Challenge Cup Challenge.
Now in round 3, 2 members of each team get the chance to put on a blindfold and feel up a famous figure. This is the Feel the Sportsman. And when you're happy...
He wears this when he's commentating.
I wish I'd something across your mouth as well.
Ray, your wig slipped.
No, the ears keep it in place.
Do I need to take this from Leeds?
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for the mystery guest. Now, Ray and Paul, you have 45 seconds to work out the individual in front of you, starting from now. So I would suggest don't squeeze too tightly. No flopping.
Could be Johnny Vegas, is it?
You might get a whack with that.
It's a prop. Oh, Paul. Hang on, look up here. Hang on. Got it? Oh, it's got a... What is it, a policeman's helmet or something? Yeah. It's a... What's he got on his head? Fire that, fire...
You got 5 seconds
fire
left.
Helmet.
I've got a clue.
You haven't a clue? Oh...
Come on, Ray, you're the
We're
captain.
getting close, we're getting close.
Haven't a clue.
No, Paul! You can't whip the blindfold. Anyway, Ray...
I haven't a clue, honestly.
No, I can tell. Take your blindfold off and see if you know then.
Oh, but I should have known, policeman.
He's having a shocker.
It is the current Bradford and Great Britain coach, Brian Noble.
We could have seen earlier. That better not have been your hand either.
And if you're wondering why the policeman's outfit, well, when he was playing for Bradford Northern in the days when the players had to have jobs as well, he was a policeman. So, Barry and Jonathan. With that nose, Jonathan, can you see down and through to the gap? You see through the gap. Our second mystery guest, please. So, gentlemen, Gentlemen, you have 45 seconds starting now. Feel away. Come on, Barry, get in there.
Your arm's down, Barry.
Oh, I know that note.
Jonathan, what are you going to find down there? What are you looking for, Jonathan?
I'm looking for dancing shoes. No?
He's got the Ray French haircut anyway. Oh, then. What's this for?
these are two men used to feeling their way in the dark. Who is it?
Martin the Fire.
Well done, it is indeed. One of the very few men who can carry it off in purple, but let's see what he looked like in his real dancing shoes. Martin collected 4 Challenge Cup final winners' medals and a glittering career. Scored one of the greatest ever tries in a final when he ran the length of the field against Leeds in 1994. Also a man who seemed to wear the shortest shorts ever in the history of rugby league. But I guess he had the legs to carry it off. It was Martin the Fire. So at the end of round 3, are the early birds heading for an early bath? Ronnie is romping away. The scores with 1 round to go are Leeds Rhinos have 11, Hull have 4.
Oh, what a feeling for these two boys, Brian Noble and Martin Offiah. Brian, first of all, you're very worried that you were mistaken for a prop there, weren't you?
I can't make it out whether it's prop. Ray French must have played with some small props, that's all I can think of. And I think the other insult, well, not an insult, because he's a great comedian, but Johnny Vegas, do I really need to go on that much of a diet?
Actually, probably yes. This intrigues me. Is this the original, the truncheon?
It is an original, but it's not my original. It's long and hard, as they always are, and but it's not mine, unfortunately.
Steady on. Martin, once upon a time, you were Martin Offiah, the rugby league player. Now you're Martin Offiah, the ballroom dancer. Macho's taken a bit of a knock, hasn't it?
Well, I think that's taken a knock a long time ago. I just want to say that I want to put in a complaint because Jiffy was just getting a bit too familiar there.
Is this a regular get-up these days, by the way?
No, not really. You know, you play rugby league for 15 years, you do one silly dancing show, and what can I say? The rest is history.
Okay, well, well done, both of you. Thanks very much indeed. Felt like they've never been felt before. Brian Noble and Martin Offiah.
Now, as is probably self-explanatory by the title, this is a 60-second round in which both teams get 1 minute, or there is 1 minute on offer, to answer as many questions as you possibly can. So, 1 minute, starting from now. Who coached Sheffield Eagles to their only cup final win? Leeds got there first.
John Keir.
That's correct. Which legendary player captained St Helens, Lee and Warrington? Challenge. I think actually that was Hull. Sorry, that was Hull. Ray?
Alex Murphy.
Alex Murphy is right. Which winger played Hull and Hull KR in the final whilst his son, Ray?
Clive Sullivan.
Clive Sullivan, the son in question was Anthony. Which Leeds player in 1999 became the first? Barry.
He doesn't know the question yet.
I know he doesn't.
Leroy Rivet.
What was the rest of the question?
He scored 4 tries.
He's absolutely right. Kevin's right. That's amazing. Who was the first Bradford player who scored a hat-trick of tries in 19... Robbie Paul is right. 10 seconds left. Which scrum half played in finals for Widnes, Wigan and St Helens? Ray?
Get it wrong, Ray.
Go on, Ray.
Who did he say?
No, that's it. 1 point deducted. Jonathan.
Bobby Goulding.
Bobby Goulding is correct.
I was just going to say that.
Hull's Tommy Harris in 1960 is the only person...
The only hooker to win the Lansdowne Trophy.
Absolutely right. With which club did former Wigan players Sean Edwards and Martin Offiah appear in a losing final in Ray
London
just got
Broncos.
in there before the London Broncos is right. Phew, well done. 7 points for Hull, then 15 for Leeds. I declare the winners tonight of the Challenge Cup Challenge are Leeds Rhinos. So, commiserations to Hull. You get a lemon. At least he caught something tonight.
This between us. This between us.
That's between you. And Leeds, you get a bottle of champagne to enjoy at some point after the final. Congratulations to Leeds and Hull. I'm sure, Paul, you'll be making sure that that does not happen on the pitch.
No, that's what we've done. I think, you know, the team that loses this from now on in will win the final, hopefully.
And you won't have Ray with you as well.
Yeah.
That'll be your thinking when you get on the pitch, but Kevin, you must feel that this is somehow giving you a psychological advantage.
Oh, definitely. The way Baz has performed today has been fantastic. Just hope he stays on the pitch as long.
They played the full match as well. I'm happy with that.
Well, after your comments earlier about the referee, I'm not so sure. Great performance from Leeds Rhinos. Congratulations, you win 15 points to 7. Well done.
And this afternoon, Brian Noble is Johnny Vegas. I can actually see the likeness. What do you feel it's done for your reputation, Brian?
Well, I've already sent a lawsuit out to Ray French. The other two are going to cop them. I've been in the South Coast diet for 15 days, the Atkins diet, and I've had 2 pieces of lettuce since then, so I thought I'd lost a few pounds, actually.
Ray French and Jonathan Davis are up in the commentary box, or at least I hope they are. They might have had a bit of a falling out after that competition. Well done, both of you. What happened to your proverbial and legendary research, Ray? It let you down on the night.
No, we were psyched out of it. I never expected my mate to do so much sledging, Steve, beforehand. We were too nervous. We need another go.
Has that given you even greater confidence, Jonathan, for the commentary to come this afternoon?
Well, like I said, I told him to take his blind off this morning when he arrived. So, but I have to say, you know, he's been 50 years in the game now, Ray, and he was absolutely dreadful on that day. But like I said, so you know, I'm sure the Hull boys are glad that he's up here commentating and not taking any part in their preparation whatsoever.
You have your bad days, don't you?
I know, Jonathan, you'll struggle to get a word in a bit later on, so a quick word from you now. Which way is this one going to go?
I think the boys have covered it well in the studio. It's going to be a very tough game. You know, with the breaks and the offloads at Leeds, you know, I've shown this year they've got to play an open, expansive game to move this big Hull side around. And if Hull perform as well as they did against St Helens, as John Keir said, they'll be very, very confident. So I think on form, shown in Super League, you've just got to go with Leeds. But you know, if Hull pull another good performance out of the bag, it could go either way. It could be that close. It all depends, I think, who scores first. It's imperative that for Hull that they score first.
OK, Jonathan. OK, Ray, we'll hear plenty from you during the course of the afternoon. Enjoy it. It's going to be a fantastic final in a wonderful atmosphere. We knew that the Millennium Stadium will produce that very special feeling on the last occasion that the Challenge Cup final is here. 74,000 sellout in the stadium, and tremendous support for both sides. Score Interactive, by the way, for all this afternoon's football is underway at the moment for digital viewers. Ray Stubbs and the team are in position in the studio. All the football information on Score Interactive. We're going to concentrate on the final build-up and everything that's to come here at the Millennium Stadium. It's been a terrific few minutes inside the stadium. Part of today's pre-match entertainment was the junior fixture, which saw Brinteg School from Bridgend and Castleford School going head-to-head in the Power Gen Champion Schools Year 7 final. And the Welsh side proved too strong for their Yorkshire opponents. They won it by 40 points to 4. And there's a try from Hugh Rosser. And Brinteg, by the way, was the school that produced Gavin Henson for Rugby Union and now producing Rugby League talent of some potential. Jay Robbins got another try for Brinteg, 40 points to 4. To the delight of the Welsh supporters within the stadium. Sir Bobby Robson crossed codes to make the presentation, and a great day for those young players. OK, plenty of potential out there on the pitch ahead of this afternoon's match. Let's now talk in detail about the players who are going to have a particular influence, do you feel, on this afternoon's outcome. Keith Senior in particular, in the starting lineup, despite his very bad injury against Bradford, or seemingly a bad injury against Bradford last weekend. How surprised, just underline once again, are you to see him out there in the starting lineup?
Not completely amazed. Extremely surprised, I think, Steve. He was sore after the game. I spoke to him, but there was always a chance he was going to play, and he's a talisman for Leeds. He's a big, strong centre, and that's Big Joe Vangenaar manages to trap his foot underneath him there, and that's quality of the guy involved. He's durable. He plays a lot of games, Keith. He's got a big right-hand fend. He works well with Lauer TT on the left-hand side, and he's talisman, as we say, and a bit of an offload. But if he wouldn't play, I don't think their coach would take a chance if he couldn't, you know, play a huge part in the game. And I think it's really important that he starts the game well and gets some time under his belt, because I don't think he'll be thinking about it. They'll take that away. I'm sure from Wednesday onwards he was always going to play.
But do you think Tony Smith is thinking, let's get him on there for the first 20 minutes, let's let him have an influence on the initial stages of this match? His presence on the field is so important to Leeds.
Well, his presence is important. He's one of the few guys who have won a Challenge Cup, and he's also a very experienced international player. But the first thing that coach wants to do is get him very much close to the mark, fitness-wise. You don't want to take those risks. You don't want to all of a sudden have a bench of 16. Our game involves 17 players. All of a sudden, after 20, you don't want to be down to 16. You'd be thinking to yourself, gee, I knew that would happen. Why did I put myself in this situation? He must be very confident he's fit. He must be very confident the guy is very mentally tough to be able to go through the pain barrier, and he must be fit.
Another great influence in a different kind of way will be the Leeds captain, Kevin Sinfield. We know already this afternoon he knows all the answers, but he can pose all the questions for Hull this afternoon as well.
He's been huge for them this year. He's probably their top offloader, which is surprising for most. He's taken the line a lot more. He's been a lot more direct in his game. He's a threat with the ball. And I think the biggest thing that he gives to Leeds is his kicking game. When he manages to kick off the front foot, he's pretty meticulous about where he puts the ball, where it bounces, and how much time he gives them to get down there and make a tackle. He's going to enjoy this occasion, we can all see, and he'll be due a big game.
How much is it the coach, Tony Smith, who has made the ultimate special difference to this Leeds side?
Well, they were really close for a number of years with the talent that they had. Well, I think what he's done is galvanise that talent, give them structures to play under, give them little technical things with their attack and their defence, coaching things that improves their game, and he's created a synergy with talent. And once you get that, players wanting to play for each other and the talent, you've got a special outfit.
Well, whatever happens in the next couple of hours, history will be made here, because for the first time in Challenge Cup history, the two teams will be led out by a husband and wife partnership. Gary Hetherington, of course, is Chief Executive of Leeds. Kath Hetherington is Chairwoman of Hull. It's a marriage under some strain, and Claire is with both of them right at the moment.
I think I'm the bravest person here, actually, to stand between the two of them. Steve, as you say, it's a great subplot to this match. So, first of all, Kath, when did you last sleep together?
Wednesday.
It's not a question I'd normally ask married couples. And how's it been since Wednesday? You've seen each other at various lunches and dinners.
It's got a bit silly at times, but it's been good fun.
Would it be fair to say, Gary, that Kath's more competitive than you?
No, she's a pretty bad loser. I tend to take it in my stride, but she's been known to be a pretty poor loser on occasions. But I know she's pretty confident about today.
And obviously you won't begrudge her victory if it finally comes, because she's got awfully close in the past without quite managing it.
Yes, this is something that's always eluded Kath, and I'm delighted that she's here, and the Hull are here in actual fact, but I think it's going to be the Rhinos' day, and I will be commiserating with her later, all being well.
He's just being faintly patronising, isn't he?
He usually is, Claire, but he will laughs the longest, so they say, and I'm sure that our boys will be really up for this, and I'm looking forward to a great game. It's a great occasion, it's a great stadium, and it's a great day out for all rugby league fans.
And whatever the result, will your marriage survive this?
Yes, it will. It's survived a lot of things, and we've always been good friends, and we're both very much for rugby league. And I know Gary won't be too disappointed when we take the cup home this evening.
Well, we look forward to the outcome, whatever it may be, and hope that you enjoy your next anniversary.
Well, we'll certainly do that. I'm not so sure about taking defeat as well as Kath suggests I might do, but it'll be a great game. It's a 50-50 game, and I think we're going to be in for something special this afternoon.
Lovely. Gary, Kath, thank you very much.
And they look as if they're off to a wedding rather than a cup final. But it is an extraordinary story, Gary and Kath, and it has had an influence on the whole mood of this cup final, hasn't it?
Yeah, obviously it's a first, and obviously they're both passionate about their game, been involved with rugby league a long time. I think Gary started with Sheffield and originated there, so he's a willy old customer in regard to his knowledge of the game. It'll be interesting to see how they all accept it tonight after a few drinks.
Well, we're a few minutes away from the final element of the build-up here in the Millennium Stadium. We'll be hearing from Catherine Jenkins. We'll hear from her in just a few minutes. Influential players, though, for Hull this afternoon, Ian. First of all, Richard Horne can play anywhere on the back line.
Well, he's an outstanding attacking player, and people have got to remember this is a guy who had his debut for Hull, a 16-year-old. He's now 24, so he's got a lot of experience under his belt. The good thing about him is his footwork. He runs at the big men, he can beat them with evasion, and he's got speed. And he also gives them that variation in their kicking game. He's got a very good kicking game. He's the guy that kickstart a lot of their attack. And like I said, he's only 24 years of age, but a lot of experience. And he's a fabulous player.
And it's the kicking game you feel again, which is the best route for Hull this afternoon.
Well, you know, in their kicking game, they've got a lot of variation there. Cook and Horne, Bruff, who comes off the bench, even Richard Swain sometimes kicks from dummy half. It's an area that they will give some concern to Leeds with their short kicking game and long kicking game. It's hard for Leeds to know which one's going to kick, which will give them a little bit more time to kick, which will create better field position as the game unfolds.
This is Paul Cook, who was absolutely outstanding against St Helens. He's going to have a great battle with the likes of Sinfield and Burrow this afternoon.
Yeah, people have got to keep in mind also this guy, he's very tall for the position he plays as standoff. He's not the quickest standoff, but he's very good with the ball in his hand. He has that ability of good players to have time with the ball in his hand. He's a very good defensive player. He's also got a great kicking game. He does the banana kick where he kicks it back to the post, and you'll watch for Montu Tony, the New Zealand international, running up the inside for that. But yeah, he's very instrumental in all their plays. He plays out on an edge. Horns goes to the first receiver, and then he'll go to Cook over on the left-hand side, and that's the side they destroyed St Helens on in the last game. So he'll be very influential. Missed the last few games with an eye injury, but he'd be raring to go today.
Well, all the work is nearly done. Brian, what do you feel will be the last message of John Keir to those players?
Well, it's easy to say, harder to do. Is try and enjoy it, and don't get involved in the occasion. Enjoy your game. Get the things right that you need to do at the start of the game, and the rest will take care of itself. They'll talk about be relaxed, see all your fans. This might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. They'll talk about where they've come from, about the fact that nobody's going to give them a shot, or nobody's going to give them a chance. But leave them alone. Don't overburden them. Just let them get ready for the game.
And similar tension, and rather revealing tension, I'm afraid, in the Leeds dressing room there. But that's the mood of a Challenge Cup final dressing room just a few minutes ahead of the kick-off. Catherine Jenkins will avert her eyes, I'm sure, and lift us to greater heights. This is a wonderful voice. Let's enjoy it. Terrific, and there's more to come from Catherine Jenkins in just a moment. But what about the Challenge Cup final so far as a summer occasion? Those characters have dressed for it. It works well, doesn't it?
Yeah, obviously it's a holiday too. People book their holidays around because it's a long weekend, and it's just fantastic how everyone in the rugby league community can converge on a fantastic city. The way they put this stadium in the heart of the city, and everyone gets on well. You talk to any of the policemen in town, they say the rugby league people are the best behaved out of everyone, and that's not being negative to soccer, but it's a fact. And it's just fantastic how everyone can converge and enjoy the occasion.
Last time at the Millennium Stadium, it's also a Welsh occasion, as Catherine Jenkins is emphasising still further.
Jenkins in full voice behind us, and the crowd quite rightly going absolutely mad for her. Brian Carney, the Wigan and Great Britain superstar, is with me. This is some occasion, it really is. How on earth do the players come out and try and play a sensible match?
With great difficulty. They'll be in that dressing rooms now, and they'll still be able to hear the noise coming from this stadium. They'll be trying to be calm, trying to be relaxed, but it's very, very difficult. They'll walk out here to a wall of sound. It's very hard to focus on your game when you're faced with that.
Are there any tricks, though? I mean, you've played in a few matches like this. Are there any tricks you can do as a player to keep yourself calm?
I don't know. Unfortunately, the only thing that can help you is experience and playing in big finals, but that doesn't always, you can't always do that. So I think John Kearl will have them relaxed all week. They brought them here yesterday, showed them the stadium, and he'll hope that they will not get affected by any of this.
Well, there's more singing on behind us. We'll wait until Catherine Jenkins comes in just a second. And Brian, one other thing about Hull, I mean, you played for Wigan and beat them earlier in the week, so you know that side pretty well. And you used to play for Hull yourself years ago.
I think the biggest thing that came out of playing for Hull is how much it means to these fans to be in a Challenge Cup final. They've got a great affinity with the competition, and for them to make their first final and with a chance of winning it, it's a huge thing for the city.
Now, do you think, though, they've got a real chance? They've got to get in there early, have they?
If they can stick in the game, I'll back them to win it.
OK, well, listen, the crowd are enjoying the singing that's going on in the middle, and I think we should too.
Absolutely. This is Old Faithful, the Hull song, and they respond appropriately enough. Give us an idea of what is at stake for Hull this afternoon as they try to establish themselves among the top four in the game.
I just think it's been a long time coming for all these fans. They've been ever so close over the last few years, semi-finals, and just fallen away at the back end of the year in respect to the Super League competition. Everybody's writing that it's their destiny and it's going to happen, and it's going to be the whole. They're bonkers. The Barmy Mad Rugby League in Humberside, you know, the Hull Kingston Rovers and the Hull clubs are still very, very strong. And the halcyon days of the 80s when they were both top of the tree. These fans are anchoring after that, and they've stuck with them through all that. And I think they're going to find that their first piece of silverware for a long, long time, and that's what they're all hoping for.
Having said that, there's an awful lot at stake for Leeds this afternoon as well. They're trying to really underline their position as one of the great club sides.
Well, they have over this last couple of years under Tony Smith. They've probably been the underachievers of rugby league in this country, been in finals, haven't won. And with the resources, like you said, the infrastructure they have and the city behind them, they have been the underachievers. So this is probably what they're here. I think Brian's team beat them last time, Bradford, and Kevin Singfield gets that opportunity to turn the tables and probably make them win the 3 trophies that are available at the moment in rugby league: the World Club Challenge, Super League Trophy, and now the Challenge Cup. So it's a big day for them to really stamp their authority where they stand in the world of rugby league.
And they've got to do that in the first 20 minutes, you feel?
Look, if they start well, they're very skillful. They'll get a little bit of composure. They'll get a little bit of momentum, and that's what they're looking for. This is what Hull, they need to be in their faces early. They need field position. Field position is so important in a final. It's where you start your set of 6. You want to give the ball to the opposition so they're coming off their line. Look, this is a semi-final, all reincarnated. If Hull start well, I think they can win the game. If Leeds start well, the task is going to be harder.
Well, the players will be leaving the dressing room. They'll be emerging from the tunnel as the last bars of Abide With Me fade away. We've had songs in the last few minutes to stir the emotions, but here's another one, Abide With Me, with Catherine Jenkins, just to emphasise that the great atmosphere that we used to have at Wembley Stadium has transferred so well here to the Millennium Stadium, and I'm sure will be exactly the same next summer back at the new Wembley Stadium. But Abide With Me ahead of the Challenge Cup final. It's something that the players don't really hear, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, you hear things. I've walked down that tunnel last year, and it's the biggest feeling you'll ever get in your life. Doesn't matter if you're at Old Trafford or you're at the Millennium Stadium, it's just above. You'll remember it for the rest of your life. And just when you come out, the uproar, you can't even say anything to the bloke next to you. And this is where communication's important even during the game, because you can't talk, your instincts come into play, and that's where fatigue levels, you don't want to be too low. And that's why I'm saying about field position and starting well, get all those nerves out of your body. But the players will hear it, don't worry, because they've been dreaming about it all week. And like Brian Carney said, they were at the stadium yesterday having a little bit of a mock trial, looking around the stadium, and they went to bed last night dreaming of this occasion.
Like Gary and Catherine feeling the nerves a bit as well, I'm sure, Brad.
See all the blokes in the striped uniforms, they're all the marriage guidance counsellors they're going to need after the game.
Well, the crowd falls silent. Cue Catherine Jenkins for Abide With Me. Well, not quite yet. Catherine is building the tension as much as everyone else out there, and it's a little bit of Lord of the Rings or whatever it is, just to heighten the tension. She's waiting for the players to maybe show themselves in the tunnel like everybody else, and it's a time when the supporters really want to have a moment that's going to live in the memory. They're going to crank up the emotion as much as they physically can, but the players, by contrast, have got to keep a lid on it all. And she's doing her best, isn't she?
Will she see through to half-time, that lady?
Well, Leeds are still pacing around in their dressing room. There's Mark Calderwood. The call will come in a moment. Catherine is waiting patiently out there. They have been cold, we've been told. Wow, tough moments, aren't they?
You know, it's a really exciting moment as well. The minute you get to line up in the tunnel and you look around the players' eyes and their faces and their body language, and you know, you get some telltale indicators there. And I think it's probably on the occasion, it's a really, really exciting time just before you're about to go out to battle, and just before you're lining up in the tunnel, and the nerves, and you can hear the clatter of studs going around and the nervous tension being filed around. I thought it's, you know, thankfully the great occasions we've been involved with, and I hope they reinforce that. It's a super day, a super occasion, you do really work hard as hard as you do for these occasions.
I'll tell you what, it teaches a lot about yourself too, because you know you're under pressure, and the nerves and the energy, and you learn a lot about yourself, your personality under stress, which is important. And in that dressing room now, all you want to do is not overload them. You know, I mean, at the moment, the fear of the unknown is out there for both teams, and that's where, you know, you want to keep it fairly simple at the moment.
Well, Catherine Jenkins has had a tough a wait as the players, but her moment has arrived, and the big moment for the fans inside this Millennium Stadium. Abide with me, part of the Challenge Cup final tradition.
Shot of that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, you saw the emotion. That's what it means to make it to the Challenge Cup final. Be it Cardiff or Wembley, midsummer or spring, the occasion is the same. It's the Power Gen Challenge Cup final. It's Hull against Leeds. Our commentators, Jonathan Davis and Ray French.
Thank you, Steve. And Rugby League prides itself on being a family game, so every reason then why a husband and wife should lead out the finalists. Gary Hetherington, the chief executive of the Rhinos, and Kath in the chair at Hull. And if Leeds win, well, I'm pretty sure she won't be giving Gary his tea for the next couple of weeks. Very knowledgeable lady, certainly knows her game, and no nerves either. In fact, she was more concerned about her Auntie Pat, who's having to watch this in the hospital. Lord Jack Ashley of Stoke, the guest today, a big Windus supporter. He was really bemoaning the relegation problem for his club. A great rugby league man. Danny Maguire there, that bad shoulder. Will it last the 80 minutes? Will he poaching too? Without a head guard, I notice at the moment. He's got a fractured cheekbone. Jamie Jones Buchanan, who's had such a good season to force his way into this Leeds Rhinos side. Leeds in the traditional colours of amber and blue jerseys. Chris McKenna from and the little man, Rob Burrow. Gareth Ellis, who signed from Wakefield Trinity earlier in this season. Keith Senior and Lord Ashley of Stoke just having a word there. He knows his rugby. He was really questioning me last night about the fitness of Keith Senior. And John Prescott, the MP for Hull, one of the guests here this afternoon. He'll no doubt be wishing Kath Etherington and John Keir every success. John Keir, who really has set his stall out. And the Hull mascot, an old friend of mine, Scott Walker, and his father Terry, qualified referee is young Scott. We meet up regularly on the rugby league circuit, and my word, he knows all about his rugby. And you can't ask him any questions about Hull, he knows the answers. Nathan Blacklock from Australia, a grand final winner with St George, but never in a Challenge Cup final. The atmosphere at this Millennium Stadium, the last final will be here, of course, but what a part Wales and its players and its clubs have played in the history of this Challenge Cup. Stephen Kearney in his last season for Hull. Paul King suffered a lot of injuries, back to his best. Jamie Thackeray, watch his impact coming off that bench. A smiling John Prescott there. Does he know a thing or two about the next 80 minutes that we might not? And Steve Ganson, his first time in a Challenge Cup. Ian Millward's had so many successes with St Helens, and of course St Helens born lad, he couldn't get a game. And we've got Ashley Klein, the reserve referee. Touch judges Phil Bentham and Steve Wright. Match commissioner Ian McGregor from Wigan. And already for the presentation party to return to the touchline, and the crowd to be asked to stand for the national anthem. Hull coach John Keir relies on the versatility of Motu Tony to take the place at fullback, and Sean Briscoe, who so sadly was forced to undergo an operation for appendicitis yesterday. Half-back, hooker, centre fullback. The Kiwi international will not lack confidence, but are winning fair under the high kicks. That could be interesting. His New Zealand Test teammate skipper Richard Swain will, however, be hoping to inspire the Hull forwards with the same sort of performance they put in against St Helens in that semi-final. That performance will be the key to the outcome of this game. Leeds boss Tony Smith told Claire Balding that there hadn't been a doubt about Kid Senior's fitness. Well, at 6'3", 16 stone, and with 25 net tries already to his name this season, a fit senior, he'll be a major asset. But will that ankle last 80 minutes? One man who will relish the occasion after suffering a serious cruciate knee ligament injury is hooker Matt Diskin. Only his 8th appearance of the year, but he can cause a lot of damage to Hull at the play of the ball. Referee Steve Ganson ready for the kick-off. Great occasion for him too, his first ever final. And I must say, Jonathan, Steve Ganson, a very strict referee, not afraid to send people to the sin bin or even give the red card.
No, let's hope he hasn't got a big part to play in this game. It'll be an open, attractive game.
Ready, guys? Leeds underway then. The Power Gen Challenge Cup final for 2005. Hull in the white jerseys, the irregular black and white hoops.
Second, that's good.
And Hull, those similar tactics that we saw in the semi-final, driving it away from the first receiver in their own half. Simple, steady rugby.
Four, back it up, Leeds. Good set.
Richard Horn, key role here today. And again, seeking to turn the speedy back three. That's a good kick. Terrific kick, Jonathan.
Yeah, great first set. You know, the forwards just drove it up. Maybe the last try there, they took it a little bit too deep. But a superb kick from Horn. And again, the chase, as in the semi-final, was very, very quick.
Richard, hold, boys.
Hull beating all Super League talent to get to this final. Wakefield, Bradford, Lee and St Helens.
But this is where they'll try and keep them. They'll try and keep the Leeds side deep in their own half. And maybe because they are the best at offloading in the tackle, they will try and do that deep in their own half. And they'll be forcing errors.
And not a bad kick either from Leeds.
And I saw that, you know, Blacklock was training at full back yesterday. It'd be very interesting. That's what he was.
Second, and again, Kev.
To take the first kick, Blacklock. So we'll see if he goes back into that position.
Leeds driving in. Good burst there from Gareth Carmel. One of the few players from the Stanley Amateurs club in this game.
And it does look that Blacklock is going to play full back. He's in centre position there. I'm sure that they will put a few high balls up for him. Question his defensive qualities, but there is no doubt about his attacking abilities. Superb try scorer.
Another kick to the corner from Richard Horn. This time a little bit too much force on it, but at least it keeps Leeds penned down in that 20-metre area. And there we see Blacklock. Well, a tactical switch. We all thought Motu Tony was going to be in at the full-back role, but no. There is Diskin, number 9, at the play of the ball, acting half-back.
Second, come again, Shane. Well done, Ewan. Good.
Danny Ward. Had a strong season, this prop. Nice switch down the blind side.
That's a couple of times they tried the short side.
Sinfield. As Ian Millward was saying earlier in the studio, just look for the offloads, the player standing up, turning his back and just slipping that ball to someone in support. Leeds and Masters. Terrific high kick now though, Blacklock's not there. Here's a chance, they've lost it. There was an overlap there. Keith Senior couldn't quite take it, but play on. Sinfield trying for the line. He's in touch. Mr. Steve Wright with the red flag at the corner, on the spot.
Right to
I don't think Keith Senior is 100% fit. There's no doubt. I saw him chasing that kick, and let's watch him. He's limping there. The bald head. How long will he last? Maybe the risk was taken purely because Gareth Ellis, the loose forward, can play in the centre.
Oh, I think you're a bit harsh on him there. He was.
Not only that, when he lost that ball, I've been watching him chasing that kick. He hasn't got the same commitment as he usually shows. He's a world-class player, and maybe that is just playing on his mind. You just watch him.
It'll be on his mind. If you've got an injury, it's there all the time, isn't it? We'll see. 3 players in the Leeds side carrying injuries. Hull driving forward. Richie Mathers again being tested.
Another great kick there, Ray.
That's the third kick.
Yeah,
that's the third kick in 4 minutes, Jonathan.
Danny Brough, they've got a very good kicking team there. Brough, Horn, Cook can also come in and do it.
Danny Brough, 2 years ago, playing with the York City Knights in the National League Division 2. Now showing his worth. Ellis.
He will try and get a mismatch, come up against a big forward.
Hold on. And again, a little bit too much weight on the kick from Kevin Sinfield.
Okay. There's a tackle on Senior. And if you are a Hull side, if there are any question marks over Keith Senior's ankle, you run at him. All the players should be going down that side and take him on.
And also, I think 1 or 2 of the forwards should be running at Danny Maguire and testing that shoulder out, won't they? Here are the Hull forwards testing out now.
Don't get caught in. When he comes on, Ray.
Yeah, when he comes on. Richard Horn, nice movement there. Got Stephen Kearney on the run, just that little couple of metres to the right, just brought the momentum from Kearney. Paul Cook, a huge towering kick, well taken. Richie Mathers, former England schools player.
Good tactic, just a little bit too far, and plenty of time to take it, well taken. He's played really well since the start of the game, Richard Mathers.
These kicks again, as with St Helens in the semi-final, not allowing Leeds to play this sort of natural running game. They're having to bring the ball away all the time, aren't they, from their own line?
It's a big territorial game for Hull.
Robboro, good play, beautiful ball now then, Senior. Back inside to Marcus Bai. Here is Burrow again. That's something in the style of the rugby that we're used to seeing from the Rhinos. Moving in now with Sinfield. Shem Walker's underneath it. Well taken. Well taken by Gareth Rayner. And of course taken in the in-goal area, so it's up on the 20-metre line. Richard Swain. McMenemy, nice offload.
Second, come on, let's have effort.
Richard Horn. And Carvel doing a lot of work early on, former Leeds Rhinos player. Stephen Kearney just couldn't get the ball away.
Third, come on.
But this big Hull pack causing a lot of problems. Cook.
Just a little bit too far.
Yeah, in goal. But it's certainly put the pressure on this Leeds Rhinos side.
Yeah, they had numbers on the left-hand side. He just put a little bit too much on that kick. There was a little bit of blocking there, but he wasn't going to get it.
Leeds trying to gather their composure. They're known as a very open playing sort of side. They've already smashed the Super League record this season with 196 tries. This is what they like to do, keep it on the move. Sinfield, Burrow again.
McKenna. Nice inside. Good tackle.
They just want to move the ball around a little bit. That's what they want to do, move the ball around a bit, you know, and get the forwards, the Hull forwards out of their defensive position.
Sinfield looking for that one-handed pass, gets it to Ward. Good break by Ward, just needed a half-back on his left-hand side there.
Numbers on the left-hand side, numbers on the left.
Sinfield tried the kick, well taken.
Great take by Blacklock. The bounce favoured him, but he had to be brave.
And we've got our touchline reporters down there. Richard, what news down there in this early stage?
Ray, there's some concern on the Rhinos bench about the Leeds fullback, Richard Mathers. He took a fairly heavy blow a few minutes ago. The physio was on to talk to him. He looks okay, his head's clear. He's just a bit dehydrated, actually. The dehydration may be something to do with nerves, you never know.
5 and again.
You never know. Well, the sun has been out all morning here in Cardiff, but it's cloudy overhead now, but it is warm and humid down there.
I'd be quite surprised if he's dehydrated after 9 minutes. I know he's had a lot of work to do, but it's just a bit of a nervous start, a lot of energy used up.
And there again we see a family game. And she's recognised herself.
First. Richard Swain, come on.
Diskin. McKenna moving down his favourite right side.
Second. Come on, boys, done it. Come on, good effort, Richard.
Gareth Ellis, Leeds' only major purchase this year from the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats.
Good, Stephen, that's fine.
Chev Walker, Sinfield. Not the biggest of players, but very difficult to pull down. Here's one, certainly not the biggest of players, Rob Burrow, moving nicely. Diskin, Burrow again. Good long ball to see you. Terrific tackle. Marcus Bide, a Papua New Guinea wingman, rides it.
Great play there by Whiting.
Sinfield again. Oh, two of them have gone for it. There's a try.
It's a I should think it'd be penalty try. That should be a penalty try, and that is the first mistake.
This is a huge decision.
And was he possibly held back and prevented getting to the ball?
Now then,
issues grounding. I could have possibly have been held
back here, prevented from getting to the ball.
I think he's held back, right? The first thing is the offside. But the call has got to come from Blacklock. There's Blacklock, there's Rayner. He should have been taken. Watch him, he's held back. That is a penalty try. Don't have to look at nothing else. Doesn't have to look.
Big decision, but one of the problems as well, the two of them went up with the ball. Nobody seemed to call. Yes, he is held back there. He's interfered with.
It's a penalty try. He didn't touch it though. He's got to give a penalty try.
Video referee, a man of considerable experience, Robert Connolly.
There is no doubt he's been held back, right? If he is onside, that is a penalty try. There's no question of doubt. He's got to give it.
The ruling for a penalty try is if, in the referee's opinion, a try would have been scored. It's not might have been, it's not could have been, it would have been scored. It's got to be definite, Jonathan.
He's onside. Well, if that isn't definite, Ray, what is?
I'm not arguing with you, I'm just giving you the ruling. You've been arguing with me. To me, it looks a try, he's held back.
The mistake was made when there was not a call. There's got to be a clear call. Maybe there was, but it's got to be straight away.
Looks to me as if it will be a penalty try. Yes, it is. So the Leeds fans absolutely delighted by Robert Connolly, the video referee's decision. And Mark Calderwood, the scorer.
The first try in the
sure that Ian Millward in the studio will be very interested in this, because Mark Calderwood, of course, joining Wigan next year, and here's a suitable ploy for Ian to use.
Well, that was the first test of the full-back Blacklock, and the call had to come in. No one, well, doesn't seem to be a call there, and that is a penalty try without a shadow of a doubt. He does well to get back, but the damage is done.
I think referee Steve Ganson having a good word there with Calderwood. He says, I don't want you coming across and telling me what to award or not award.
Right, there's 74,000 people here. It's a Challenge Cup final. The guy is held back under the post. Of course, his emotions are going to take over, and he is going to shout at the referee. Okay, great for Ganson to say that, but in the emotion of the game, got to do it.
And of course, a penalty try, the goal always taken from underneath the post. Kevin Sinfield then has the conversion. So, in controversial circumstances, Calderwood, the try scorer. Leeds fans delighted. 6 points to 0 in the lead.
Again, the up and under, he's onside.
Really good.
It's very difficult because the guy coming onto the ball should make the call, but both players are running onto the ball. There's Calderwood's reaction.
He seems to be saying, excuse me, Mr. Ganson, is that a try?
Yes.
Or words to that effect. Marcus Bye. Another player looking for a Challenge Cup winners medal here this afternoon, but expected to be leaving Leeds at the end of the season. And Keith Senior taking 3 men to pull him down. Good tackling there from Richard Whiting.
Richard Whiting!
Oh, well, Carvel going in quite strongly there.
Danny, on with the job! On with it! Come on!
Rob Burrow. McKenna.
Fall! Come on, all, we're going well. Come on, all the way. Well done.
Gareth Ellis going to the play the ball a lot, Jonathan. Not seen that a lot of that from him with Leeds.
No.
Sinfield.
But Diskin is just out of position there, but...
First! Well done, great effort. Well done, Leeds.
We've got Ian Millward, of course, in the studio. Any comments so far, Ian?
Well, you've got to say both teams' kicking game's been outstanding, and they've got a try over at Leeds with an attacking kick. But I thought Hull's kicking game's been very, very good. They've really dominated field position because of a very good kicking game, and they've just got to continue that. Look, that try, it shouldn't dent their confidence. What they're doing is fine. The only thing is beware of Leeds' attack. At the moment, they look very skillful and sharp.
Yeah, they do look very skillful, and the one thing, the Hull defence are playing a very tight defence, and the Leeds, with a little run around, are trying to get on the outside of them.
Second.
Kevin Keith Senior, rather, still looking sure and sound on that foot, as there is Ali Lawatiti, former New Zealand Warriors, and it's Leeds' turn now to show that they've got a pack of some metal. Diskin, Burrow. On the fifth tackle.
Steve Keenan, get him back that side with you.
Again, good shooting at the bounce.
Now we're in.
Nathan Blacklock.
Second, come on, Danny. No, it's quick.
Leeds have got to keep Hull down in this half, because Hull really... All right, Jonathan, they've kicked very well, but they've not had a chance to put pressure on with ball in hand in the Leeds 20-metre area.
No, none yet, and I'm quite surprised, like we said, that I would certainly test Keith Senior's ankle out. I would have Kearney running at him, I would have Blacklock coming on the shoulder of somebody, just trying to make him change his angles and change position.
A ricochet could be picked up by Kearney. Yes, it is. It's back to one. Now then, a chance for Hull to have some pressure with ball in hand here.
Yeah, they need to pick the tempo up a little bit. This is a guy that can do it.
Swain. Good movement here now. Good battle between Calderwood and Rayner, former teammates at Leeds a few years ago in the academy and under 21 sides. 10 metres then now. Here is Swain. Good driving burst. Can he get over? No, he can't. Good tackle there from Ward. Swain again. Bruff. I think a chip kick. Marcus Pye just managed to read the bounce of that ball. But,
well played, Marcus Pye.
Richard Whiting was coming in. He's 6'3". I thought he might get round him, Jonathan.
But look at that. That's very good play. He knew read the bounce of the ball and the power of the kick. But in that position, you've got to send dummy runners down Keith Senior's channel. We've got to make him play and change position and be light on his feet.
Robert should pass a message down for you. Ewan Dowes.
First shot.
Still holding on the attack. Richard Swain, the skipper, commanding around the play of the ball. Carmel. Swain again. Hall. Cook. That's a good ball. And Kirk Yeaman, the former Mighton Junior, he ran on that well. Swain. Nathan Blacklock coming in for a bit of action in midfield. Still Hull on the attack. Kearney. Nice snippy side. Where's the chance? Can he get the ball down? No, he can't.
Well played, Lawatiti. Got his legs underneath him.
Jamie Jones Buchanan. Wonderful tackle there. But it's still Hull. The kick to the corner. Walker's underneath it. Takes it beautifully. Calderwood rather, sorry, Calderwood. And there are some brutal tackles going in here. 2 and 3 at a time.
Second.
We just saw that tackle from Jamie Jones Buchanan, the replacement who's just come on for Ward. And what a timely replacement. That looked to try all over. Why did I praise the lamp? It always happens. Knocked off. He'll recover.
Tell him. The only one laying you down is Richard Whiting wide out.
Here's the hard tackle. There's Jones. There's Lawatiti with his feet underneath. Desperate defence.
And a big smile from Ali Lawatiti too. Hull's head and ball there. Bruff packing down at the loose forward row. A lot of multi-purpose players in this Hull side. Kearney, strong running Kiwi second row, goes back down under at the end of this season. 44 Great Britain caps.
There's possession,
New Zealand caps.
A lot of that possession has been in their own half. Exactly the same start.
Bruff. Cook again. Nice dummy, nice offload. But just take a note of Leeds, the sliding defence, covering across field, 2 men for every player. That's good. They can kick over the top. Here's a chance. He scored. I think he scored. Martin Torrey. Beautiful little piece of rugby. Chipped over the top. Round the corner. And no hesitation from Steve Ganson. Hull have hit back. And how have they hit back with the Kiwis? 6 points to 4. The conversion to come.
First of all, it's McMenemy who puts the kicker, which is unusual for Hull. Great skill by Whiting, and again by Tony. Fantastic. There's the first kick. Unusual to see him kick. But watch this skill. Watch the skill. He goes up, can't collect it, flips it back, and what a lovely chip. Bravery, takes the ball. Watch this hit. Mathers is in. Superb try by Tony.
Isn't the advantage of having a 6'3" centre, Jonathan?
And again, it's Keith Senior. You know, I don't want to harp on him for this, but he did not get into the air.
Tony played in a lot of positions here with this whole side. They all expected him to be in the full-back role, pops up on the wing.
Great skill though, wasn't it? First by Richard Whiting, and then by Motto Tony.
Danny Brough. Swings it in. Oh, it's a beauty. Superb effort from the 22-year-old former York City Knights player.
Just watch this. Watch the skill by Whiting. He goes up, number 30, flicks it on. Oh, what a lovely chip. The bounce is favourable. That's a lovely chip. Takes a great hit. Grounds the ball on the line. First of all, try.
He almost ricochets off Ali Lawatiti, doesn't he?
I think he did.
Having Sinfield just taking his time, covered in blood too. He's had to have that staunch. And Brian Carney down there.
Well, Ray, it's noticeable. What a great try, but Hull have increased the intensity in their running very, very soon after the Leeds try, and that try that Hull have just got is the just reward for that increase. Watch for Paul King running hard into this Leeds defence. There's a noticeable change in the attitude of these Hull players.
And he's just got that ball over the line.
Yeah, I did feel, you know, after about 15 minutes, Hull were looking very, very tired. And sometimes the occasion does get to you, and you're looking for your second wind. I just feel that just has come now with Hull.
But it's good tackling there from Leeds, just contained Hull to only 12 metres in the first 3 tackles. Paul King on now, Great Britain forward. There he is, on the charge.
Come on, lads.
They don't do anything fancy within 30-40 metres of their own line. Then Richard Horn or Paul Cook are usually on hand for one of these long testing kicks. Mathers certainly earning his bonus this afternoon.
Another great kick.
And another great chase. Just look at those men there. Cook, Kearney, Swain. As a result, you end up with play 5 metres from your line if you're a Leeds player. Jamie Jones Buchanan still can't get out of that 20-metre area. Leeds already the holders last season of the Grand Final and the World Club champions, looking for a treble here this afternoon in Cardiff. The 20th final. I don't think I've seen so much kicking in a Challenge Cup final, Jonathan, for many, many a year.
The reason for that is because the defensive work of both sides have been so good. There's been very, very few breaks, so they've got to kick from deep.
Rough. Hull just using the wingmen and occasionally the full-back to make a little bit more room. And here's a good burst. Paul King, Swain. This Hull pack got some momentum now. Well, intercepted there, and a timely interception too by Ali Lawatiti. That could have been a try.
There's the pass, Lawatiti the interception.
Second.
End-to-end rugby now. Senior.
Third. Here we are, Paul.
I feel like Keith Senior is
Diskin.
being, a passenger at the moment. Can't afford that in the final, I'm telling you.
Hang on, surely.
Knock on.
Well, now then, should that have been play on? The ball is knocked down.
Let's have a look.
Back on side.
No, definitely a knock on. He played the hand, and Sinfield knocked it on.
Oh, I'm not so sure.
Just watch it, Ray. Just watch it here.
On that side, all the way back.
Plays the hand, comes off Sinfield. Knock on.
Only 10 metres.
You're back in his quiz, Ray.
Okay, backside, back line, south. First
Strong centre play there from Kirk Yeaman. Swain. We said we would see this man around the play the ball earlier. First or receiver or acting half-back. Oh, a little bit Chelsea.
That was a
play on,
foul.
says referee Ganson.
Certainly forward, and touch judge Phil Bentham got that wrong.
Come on.
Horn again. Calderwood to retrieve.
Chester got to him, didn't he?
Chris Chester coming on for Stephen Kearney.
And this is where the Hull forwards really put some effort in.
This is where at the moment Hull are containing Leeds. A clamp being put on that free-flowing style of the Leeds Rhinos. Doonerman. Cook working hard. Doonerman again. Bailey.
Coming on now for Hull. This could be a huge point in the game for Hull. This man can offload and runs it very, very hard. So keep an eye out for Jamie Thackeray coming on now.
I think keep an eye out for that man, number 17, Chris Chester. He's a good ball player. Rough.
Thackeray as an interchange player has certainly made a fantastic impact on every game I've seen this year.
There he is, number 15, former Castleford Tigers prop. Swain again. Hull driving forward with this pack here now down the left-hand side. It's a chase. Kurt Yeaman's going for it. Oh! Calderwood just punches it away to safety. And those Hull fans there on the side know what might have been.
Superb play by Hull, lovely kick. I think Calderwood's positioning is excellent as well.
Would you have kicked this, Jonathan, or would you have passed it?
Personally, I wouldn't have kicked because there's an overlap there. Look, there's 3-2-1. I would have given it.
I would.
Kept the ball in hand. But the tactic is to play a good kicking game. It seems to be effective.
So John Keir there, just reaching for his walkie-talkie, but quite content at the moment. No need to send any instructions down. A master at preparing sides for the Challenge Cup, assistant coach with Castleford and Wigan when they won the trophy, and also, of course, in charge with Sheffield Eagles. Thackeray again. Enemy offloads to Brough. Good switch down the right-hand side here. That was good play there by number 30, Richard Whiting. Swain. King driving forward.
Big centre-six this.
Don't think they'll score close in. They've got to move it, I feel. Here is Cook. Blacklock. A chance here for Yeaman. I think he's in. I think he's in at the corner. Mr. Ganson wasn't sighted. I think he wants to check the grounding. And was he over that line?
He thinks he's shaking his head. Has he lost the ball? Has he lost the ball?
No, it's touched it down before the line, I think.
From that angle, he's lost the ball. I think the tackle from Chev Walker. Watch this tackle. What a great tackle. Gets his hand on the ball, strips it out. He's lost the ball. Great tackle, Chev Walker. Just watch him, he's got his hands on the ball, one-on-one, strips it down, falls short, no try.
Lads, keep it going.
Yeah, just looks as if he loses control on that ball. There doesn't seem to be the downward pressure there, Jonathan.
No, I think he's lost the target, and by the reaction...
It doesn't seem to make the line, does it? And also, Jonathan, it's not a rip out of the ball in a two-man tackle, because Rob Burrow hasn't actually got to the tackle by the time the action is done.
I think that Kirky Eamon's reaction says it all. But now it's interesting to see what Robert Connolly will say. Is it a knock-on? Is it a defensive scrum? Is it an attacking scrum? That's the key decision.
I think it'll be a knock-on.
I would say it'll be a defensive scrum.
There you are.
So you're asking Sean, Bob, yeah?
That was a great tackle.
Good effort though from Kirk Eamon. He went for it, he ducked down, but as Jonathan said, tremendous defence actually on this right wing from Calderwood and Walker on 3 or 4 occasions.
Okay, straight in.
Tony Smith, his first Challenge Cup final, came to watch his brother when his elder brother Brian was in charge of Bradford in the 90s. Senior loses the ball. Awatiti has to go back and take it. Has to get over that line. And Leeds are all at sea at the moment. This relentless tackling from Hull really testing them. Thackeray again. Loses the ball.
Well, they'll want to settle this down. Mistakes.
Substitution for the Leeds one, that's number 15, Dylan Ward was replaced number 89.
Dooneman. And I think it was interesting there, Jonathan, to see Dooneman. He didn't quite know what to do with this ball. This whole side are coming up so quickly. The tackling's so fierce.
Defence has been very, very good.
Hull just twice winners of the Challenge Cup, last occasion way back in 1982. Calderwood. Leeds have withstood all the pressure. Can they bounce back now in this final 7 or 8 minutes? Dooneman. Burrow.
Yeah, you haven't seen, the darting runs of Burrows or Maguire, because the Leeds forwards have really been contained by the Hull boys.
Okay.
And again, good reading at full-back here. Oh, and here's a chance now. Can he go all the way? No, he can't. Blacklock just not trusting to his pace out wide. Good covering by Sinfield. Thackeray again. Oh, that's some tackle.
Big tackle.
Terrific tackle by Ward. King, it's hard, it's bruising in the middle there. I'm sure Jonathan will have quite a few points in the second half. They can't keep this intensity up in the middle.
It's like a war of attrition.
9's off, 15's off. Everybody else okay.
Mathers again. How many times has he had to go behind his own line to retrieve that ball? And how many times has that man been the perpetrator? Richard Horn. They just can't get away, can these Rhinos? Chev Walker.
Third, Chris.
Interesting that Barry McDermott, the old warhorse, wasn't selected for this match. I just think a run or two from him at the moment would inspire this Leeds side.
I was a bit surprised. He's a big game player, and I would have certainly picked him in my squad. Again, watch.
2 minutes.
This is the offload. Great hands by Senior.
Come on, mates, off at the scrums. 2 minutes.
Marcus Bai wasn't
2
aware of
minutes,
that.
boys.
Give, take,
Does it?
superb.
Take your
Marcus
head
Bai
down.
just wasn't ready for it.
6 minutes left in this first half. 6 points apiece.
Okay, over. Lock in, Paul. Right, Robin, Kevin.
Cook takes up the loose forward role now. To Whiting. And they're gaining more and more confidence, these Hull players. Brough. Richard Horn.
He's offside. He's offside. He's offside.
Is he offside? I think he's offside.
Clearly offside.
He's offside. He's checking. His first instinct, Mr. Ganson's, was that he was offside.
Hang on.
He's miles offside, look. He's miles offside.
Yeah.
Didn't even go to the screen. Ganson knew straight away.
He is offside, I think, Jonathan. Well, that's clever play again. The Blacklock, who's been operating in the full-back role, had switched to the wing for that particular movement. Yeah, he did. Mr. Ganson's first instinct was to give the penalty, Jonathan. Then he had a rethink and thought, well, I'd better check the screen.
But he saw it straight away. It's good refereeing.
Okay, lads.
Well, this is the problem of the video referee, isn't it? You've got that sort of hanging at the back of you all the time. Hull interchanging this set of forwards. One man, big man goes off and another comes on.
Second, and again, lads.
Duneman.
And here, Danny. Good lad.
I think the other aspect to notice, Jonathan, about this Leeds play is that they are getting very, very slow play the balls. There's no real momentum or speed occurring there. Willie Poaching there, number 16, with the head guard on. He suffered a fractured cheekbone a couple of weeks ago. On the fifth tackle. Sinfield. Again, the kick charged down. Play on. Another 6 tackles.
Good play by Sinfield there. Big set of 6 coming
now
up
then,
now.
a chance for Leeds. Less than 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Needs a little bit of magic from Maguire. Poaching. Duneman. Ward. Proving difficult to put down in this big forward. At last, something for the Rhinos fans to cheer. The ball out wide to Lawatiti. 5 metres from the whole line. Sinfield. Mathers. Oh, Mathers going for the corner. Just held up. Almost fooled that whole defence. Little chip over the top. Should be taken easily. Well, I think Andrew Duneman and Jones Buchanan were a little confused there because he was straddling the try line, wasn't he?
Yeah, foot in goal area. Tap on a 20.
Yeah, but of course the foot in the in-goal area means that it is a tap on the 20-metre line.
Very clever play there.
Play on, said the referee. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Terrific burst by Willie Poaching. Leeds now looking to go in with the lead. Roberto weaving, darting. Four tackles remaining in this sequence. Duneman again. Poaching. Took his eye off the ball. Willie Poulshing in some difficulty there with that fractured cheekbone.
Well, it wasn't a great pass. Yeaman spotted it and just came in, took the man. It's a great spot. Good defensive play by Yeaman.
So much for kick and chase, Phil.
Just an injury down there to Chev Walker. Made his debut as a 16-year-old. I don't know when he made his debut. Certainly not at 16. Rayner. Hall will surely just want to hold on to this ball. They'll be content with a 6-all draw at half-time. Or will they? They're moving well down the middle with Carvel again. Richard Swain. Senior in there, tackling well. Thackeray. Is it worth a drop goal, Jonathan, just to give a lead to a side? He's having to go. No, he's not. Putting a high kick from Brough. Well taken.
Superbly taken.
He really has covered the ball well, though, this afternoon as Mathers. Into the final minute.
Second! Back here, lads.
Uneman.
Third! Move out!
Poaching.
Four! Back work. Come on.
They're also flat outside centre field. He's looking for the pass, but he can't spot anyone.
Inside. 40.
Good kick from Andrew Duneman, putting the pressure on Nathan Blacklock. He only has to hold his ball. The hooter will go, and I'm sure that both sides will be content with that half. Leeds have resisted everything that Hull could throw at them. Hull have had 2 tries disallowed by the video referee. Mark Yeamans in the 29th minute, Blacklock's in the 34th. But it's been an interesting match.
Well, I think that John Keane will be the happiest purely because I think the game has gone their way. They've dominated the forward exchanges. The kicking game has been good, and they've nullified the Leeds, offload and break. So more of it in the second half for Hull, but Leeds will want to break the game up a little bit more.
And just for some thoughts on that first half, I think Richard has Barry McDermott down there.
Yes, Ray. Barry, do you think that the Rhinos will count themselves fortunate to go in at half-time level?
I think it's a pretty even game, isn't it? I think we'll be pretty positive in the changing rooms and just regather ourselves. All are playing really, really well, and to be still drawing at half-time after the opportunities that we've got, I think we'll count ourselves lucky.
Give me a view of the second half. Can Hull sustain that intensity, or have the Rhinos got something up the sleeve, do you think?
It's a bit of a war of attrition at the minute. I think we're playing the chess game. Hull's kicking game is fantastic. They keep penning us down in our red zone, and it's who loses patience first, I think.
We'll see. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
Good first half, though. Barely 12 minutes gone, and referee Steve Ganson, helped by the video ref, gets the first tough decision. After confusion, the evidence made it straightforward. Calderwood held back, penalty try, Leeds ahead after an assured start by Hull. And Hull coming desperately close through Richard Horne, only improvised defending by Loa Titi kept him out. After McMenamin's kick was touched on by Whiting, the bravery of Moto Tony brought its reward for Hull. 6 points apiece. More brilliant Leeds defending required from Chev Walker to deny Kirk Yeoman when he seemed certain to score. Hull the stronger, and maybe we're getting the classic final that we'd hoped for. 6 points apiece. Studio analysis in a moment, but first from the touchline, Brian Carney with Claire.
The final
Well, it's amazing watching the pitch at ground level, how much you see and how much you see if you're sitting next to Brian Carney and he tells you what to look for. Because you said to me within about 30 seconds, Keith Senior's lame.
Well, we saw when he chased the initial kickoff and he was doing it with a limp. However, he's a very, very tough man and he's lasted 40 minutes in probably one of the hardest games he's ever likely to play, and he's come through it okay. If he doesn't seize up at half-time, you know, he could come out and make an impact for Leeds in the second half.
Which of the two sides do you think will now be sitting there at half-time thinking, yeah, we could win this?
Well, I think Hull will be very encouraged by the fact that they came so close to scoring tries. You know, that's nice to think that you can get up there and score. And I think Richard Horne has found the ground with almost every one of his kicks, which has caused Leeds difficulty because they've got to return it from back there instead of over here in the middle of the field.
Now, as far as Hull are concerned then, who are going to be the key men in this second half when everyone starts getting a little bit tired?
Well, Richard Horne, but likewise Leeds have got Danny Maguire who can exploit tired defences. Rob Burrows the very same, so I'd be looking out for those little nippy men now.
But if you had 50 quid in your pocket now and could have a bet, which side?
I'd put it on Hull before the game.
Okay, that's the view. You did already. Well, he might be a rich man at the end of it, you never know. Thanks, Frank.
Clear balling straight from Royal Ascot, and Glorious Goodwood has Keith Senior as looking a little lame, but who's going to get the trip in this one? It's looking like Hull at the moment. Great first half.
Well, it's a war of attrition at the moment, isn't it? It's kicking game's vital so much at the moment, and you've got to applaud Hull. They're winning the battle there. Both tries from kicks, but I felt they've been very, very good to their go forward. We predicted before the game that their go forward, the big men for Hull, have been really, really good, and they've had to do a lot of work, Leeds, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond, because this game reminds me so much of the semi-final between St Helens and Hull. I feel like it's deja vu, and their kicking game was outstanding that day. They're doing all the little things right. You know, they're getting to a kick, they're finding space, they're very disciplined, they're not giving away penalties. So all the little things are right, and they're getting them back on the inside in defence when they're exploiting their inside defence at Leeds. So at the moment, John Keir, he's one happy man at the moment.
Yeah, Leeds are right to be concerned, but would Hull be equally concerned that they haven't had more reward for the pressure they imposed in that first half?
I think you've got to be careful with the Leeds team, with the speed that they have on the flanks and the broken field runners that they've got, is that you're open to the counter punch. We saw a period for maybe 5-10 minutes when Hull were pounding the Leeds line, and then all of a sudden at the other end they get a couple of calls and it looked like Leeds were going to get a score. So that's the big danger for Hull. Can they maintain that intensity? I'm not too sure, because both teams are tired out there. Hull will have the more enthusiasm because of what they've done with the ball. I think King and Carvel and Thackeray have given some massive lift and some huge go forward, and given their pivots the ability to play off the front foot and kick off the front foot. Leeds have got to let a little bit of ball go nice, stay patient, but they generally do that in the second half of games, Leeds. But there's no doubt about it, they're in a huge arm wrestle here, and you'd have to say Hull would go in with the more enthusiastic.
And they started confidently, didn't they? It was a good first 10 minutes, but then confusion under the high ball led to that penalty try, of which there was really no doubt, Brian.
Well, he's onside, that's for sure. And we were looking at Calderwood there, he was on the inside. Had he gone to Walker, who stayed out the frame, he would have been offside. So everybody's onside. And then we just get no communication between the fullback and the winger. I think this is the winger's ball, him. Well, they're just going to collide into each other. It gives Calderwood the opportunity. And there's no doubt that it's a infringement from, I don't know which, I think it's Motu Tony, or Gareth Rayner tries to haul him back down, and that's a penalty try. That's a fair call by the referee, but they're just not talking. For me, that's number 5's catch. He was coming forward towards the ball and should have made it.
Are they not talking? Was it the lack of a call, or maybe the sound within the Millennium Stadium here? It causes its own problems, doesn't it?
I
Can't make excuses.
Yeah, I think we talked about it during the game and pre-match we did. It was the noise in the stadium. 75,000 people in here. It's very hard. Look, all their focus is on the ball in the air, and they think whoever's coming towards is an opposition player. They've both challenged each other. Unfortunately, they got it wrong. And in a ground where there's not as many people, yeah, they get it right. But that's the pressure of a final.
It was a big blow, but the kicking game was working well for Hull, and only some desperate defence denied them in the next 20 minutes or so.
Well, this was sustained pressure. It would come through great field position, turning the ball back on the inside again, and here Horne, you'd think he's going to score, but have a go at the legs of Ali Latiti. Hey, that's not in the textbook, that one. And have a look at the smile now. He loves that one. He says, I've outdone you there. I've got the ace in my hand. But their kicking game was outstanding. And here, once again, we're showing this here. It's their ability to turn the ball back on the inside. Their ability to come up with a very attacking kicking game is giving them field position and a chance to play a little bit back on the inside like we were speaking there before. But, you know, at the moment, you know, I like the way Cook's playing over on the left-hand side. On that side, he's creating a lot of opportunities. They may have should have scored a couple more tries. They've had space. They probably haven't done well with it, which is reflected in the human disallowed try. But that left-hand side is the side they like to go to with Cook, and that's the side they beat St Helens in the semi-final, and they're having great success here again today.
But it was McMenamin's kick that set up the try that levelled things for Hull. Great courage here from Motu Tony as well.
I just think that's a speculator. He's got to last place and just shoots it as high as he can. Whiting's out, jumps somebody, and the individual skiller. That's a great kick from Motu Tony. Beats his player one-on-one and shows great bravery to get into the corner on his own. There you go, that's the speculator. Keith is his ankle and allow him to jump as high as he'd like to, but to take Byron one-on-one, he knows he's not going to get through him, so I'll go over the top of him, and the kick and the regather is super skill.
But other opportunities came their way. Paul Cook maybe also a little guilty of ignoring a potential overlap here, but great defending once again from Leeds.
I think the most important thing, they're creating opportunities, and have a look where they are. They're only 10, 20 yards from the line. That's field position. That's created with this kicking game. Calderwood gets there because of his speed. He's the quickest man in rugby league besides Darren Albert. Here again, very subtle, astute kicking game, in behind, creating pressure. Got to come up with the right play, Calderwood. And this is where they're applying pressure. And you know what also it does? Not only does it apply pressure, it reduces your energy levels. You've got to do more work, you've got to do more defence, and then when you want to attack, they're a very good team, Leeds, in attack, but will they have the energy? Because at the moment, on a scale of 1 to 10, they're getting everything right, Hull. The key, we said it here in the semi-final, we sat there that day and we said, can they maintain for another 40 minutes? We're posing the same question to them today.
Yeah, what about that tackle from Chev Walker that denied Kirk Yeoman? That was
a huge effort. I think Chev's having a huge game for Leeds in attack as well as defence. But he's got float and clear, and Yeoman 9 times out of 10 will score these tries. But he's not taking any chance for it. He's got hold of the ball. There's no way that Yeoman and the ball are going over together there, and he gets help from the inside from Burrow. And this again is the right call from the video referee. But that's a special effort from Chev, because Yeoman, as I said, 9 times out of 10 will score those tries.
Now, things that Leeds are getting wrong, things that Leeds need to put right. Should Keith Senior be out there for a start?
Well, I've got to take my hat off to him, how brave he is in putting his hand up. But it's obvious, you watch any clips here in the game, and his ability to push up and accelerate. Here you can see now, he's a bit of a one-legged man there. And the trouble is there, instead of taking the space and taking any gaps, he's trying to feed his winger because he doesn't have the ability to push off that ankle. It's inconvenienced him all week. And look, the other thing that takes a lot out of you, all week he would have been in rehab trying to get the ankle right. You use a lot of energy for that, and now he's got to focus on the game, and that drains you in a big game. So at the moment, I'd be very surprised if Keith can last 80 minutes. Very surprised.
Did Hull exploit that channel enough during the first half, the weakness of Keith Senior, do you feel?
I think they're worrying less about that channel, because what they recognise is Keith's not going to get his famous arsenal out, the big right, see you later in somebody's face and run. So what he's doing, because he's looking to ship the ball, they're coping with all their offensive players on the left-hand side a whole lot easier than they normally would. So I think that's a plus for Hull. So they're going to have to work out to find some threats out there on the left side, or they're going to say to put the asset on Keith, say, right, we know you got through 40 minutes, your next 40, run or bust.
So as a coach, what would you change for Leeds now, if anything?
I think I'd look at their go forward. I think that they're using a lot of footwork on the whole team, which you would do because they're renowned for being big, strong, and maybe not so agile, but they're coping with it at Hull. And we need a bit more go forward before they go to the fringes. They need to play a little bit more on the front foot. And they've made a few errors, which is uncharacteristic of Leeds, because they like to offload, because they like to promote the ball. They've thrown a lot of the ball down, and one of those enthusiasm indicators is the fact that Hull are getting all the 50-50 balls on the floor, and they're finding the benefits. So they'll talk about, we need to get to the other end of the field where we know we can score points. I think one of the interesting things is when is Horn going to make a break, or Cook going to make a break, or Rayner, and for Leeds, when is Burrow going to get into the clear, or Maguire or Duneman and some of these special players. As the game gets on and they get more tired, they're going to become more prevalent.
Down there in the Hull's dressing room is John Keir working his magic once again.
Well, what he'd be talking about here at the moment, Steve, he'd be talking about the process. The process has been fantastic in the first half. He'd be getting his front rowers together, the big men again, and saying, listen, I'm real proud of you. We're going to set our victory up off your go forward, so keep it up. But he'd be very, very important. He just talks about the process. Not that we're in front, not that we think we can win this. Reinforce the things they're doing well, and then challenge the players and say, if you continue that, every minute, every ruck, every tackle, you can win this cup.
Let's swiftly hear from Steve Crooks, the assistant coach of Hull. He's with Damien.
Steve Crooks What's the view from the dressing room? Are you happy with 6-all, or do you feel you could have gone in ahead?
Obviously, with a little bit of luck with the decision, we maybe could have got away with it, but happy at 6-6. We think we've got a bit more to come, and we'll be battling in there.
What have you got to do in the second half to win it?
I think we've got to do pretty much the same as what we've been doing. We know we can't take our eyes off the ball here. Obviously, a very important attacking weapon is Leeds, but so are we as well, and we hope to show that in the second half.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
So that clearly has been the message in the Hull dressing room. Stay patient, change little. The formula is working, the plan is working.
Yeah, it is, and that would reinforce a lot of these guys, that they feel comfortable, that the second half, they understand what the first half was all about. The fear of the unknown's gone now for Hull. They've just got to stay with it. They've got to play the game of their lives. Steve Kearney will have a huge effect in the second half. He's their most experienced player, and they need to get him back on the field. He will lead them forward. But look, if you're a coach at the moment, you know, the scoreline's even, you know, there's going to be a little thing in the game that could turn either way. So concentration is vital, technique's vital, and like I said, if the process is good for Hull, stay with the current process.
Kevin Sinfield bearing the battle scars already. What a wonderful Challenge Cup final this is. It's 6 points apiece. It's all to play for in the second half. We're back with Jonathan Davis and Ray French.
Yes, as you say, Steve, the destination of this Power Gen Challenge Cup still very, very much in doubt. Heading beyond the KC Stadium in Hull, but a lot of good points for both coaches to digest.
Yeah, great, you know, for both sides, but the first point I'm going to pick up in the second half, I can't see Keith Senior out there. Definitely no Keith Senior. You know, it all depends who plays the centre now. McKenna can play in the centre. You've got Gareth Ellis who can play in the centre. And as Brian Noble said, they've got to have a threat going down the left-hand side. A lot of their plays have come down the left-hand side, and there he is. So, you know, for Hull to feel that they've nullified that in the first half, not because of their defensive work, well, because of their, yes, but because of the injury to Keith Senior. And I think he's given up. He realises they need more threat down that left-hand side.
Yes, as you can see, a huge disappointment for that Leeds and Great Britain centre. Not to be, I'm afraid.
It won't, you know, if Leeds win, and whoever plays in the left centre scores a try, he'll be one of the happiest men in Leeds. So, you know, I think you've just got to make a decision. Not what's right for you, what's right for the team.
Whatever, Steve Ganson just bringing the ball on, just checking with video referee Robert Connolly that we're ready to get underway, and it's Danny Brough, number 21, to get us underway. Sun now just shining through a little now through the heavy cloud that's been over here in the past 20 minutes. Stadium roof, of course, open this year. And this Leeds pack really have to begin to get some momentum, because Maguire, Burrow, even Duneman there at half-back, you can't play, Jonathan, unless that pack's going forward.
No, they've got to start taking those drives on, making good yardage, and, you know, making indentations into this Hull defensive line. And then with the odd offload, too many players committed to the tackle, that's when your Maguires and Burrows come into play. But it'll be the same with Horn and Cook as well.
And perhaps Richard Duckyfield's got a little bit more news on the Keith Senior situation for us.
Yes, Ray, it might be a surprise too. We don't think that Keith Senior is at all finished with this game yet. We've had a word with the doctor. He said he's off as a precaution, and that Keith Senior's back on the bench. Not looking too happy about it at the moment, but he could be back in this game for Leeds.
The drama continues, Jonathan. The drama continues, and so does the pain down there for these forwards. Something's got to give it some time. Sooner or later, one of these half-backs, a Richard Horn, a Maguire, a Burrow, or Cook from that midfield position, has got to find a gap. Swain.
40-20. Good chase by Tony.
Oh, nice movement, nice passing, and good support play there from Bai. Terrific run there from the Papua New Guinea. Great favourite with the Melbourne Storm in Australia.
Such a big player. So strong.
And a run like that can inspire a team. Jones Buchanan.
The one thing that Leeds haven't exploited is because, you know, Blacklock hasn't played full back for Hull many times this season. He is defending very, very deep, and there's a big gap between the Hull defensive line and Blacklock.
Rob Burrow. Maguire.
Little chip with a grubber, right?
Yeah. On the 5th tackle. Nice switch down the blind side. Sinfield. Now then, was that ball knocked down by a Hull player? Not so, says referee Jansen.
Well, that's another knock-on that Phil Bentham has missed. Definite knock-on.
Well, we'll have a look. Yes, it was. Yep.
Chester.
Third. Come in, lads. Step back, Jeremy.
Almost 30 metres made off those 3 tackles. That just tells you the impact of this whole pack of forwards. Here they are now, down that left-hand side. Good ball. Here's a chance for Hull. Gareth Cardell pounding down. Richard Horn. Oh, there was an overlap on the right-hand side.
I don't think he realised that was the last tackle.
Turnover.
The players are certainly getting tired now.
You can see it already in the body language here, Jonathan.
Intensity of the first half, especially the first 3 minutes of the second half.
They're moving up, but not as quickly in the tackle. Points will come. Very interesting how few penalties have been given in the game, despite the intensity of the forward work. Poaching. That's a good ball. Sinfield, hesitant. Mathers. Oh, there's a chance! Got about 7-2 on the left-hand side. There is the play the ball. Cook, Hall queuing up all right here. He's gone for himself. He scored. Has he given the try? Did he get the try for Rayner? Yes, he did. Terrific play down the left-hand side. And Hull have struck again. Wonderful final pass.
Interception. The tackle is made by Mather. But just watch the break by Blacklock. As they go crest, they're outnumbered on the top side. The ball goes out. Blacklock throws the dummy. And that's a great ball by Blacklock. Blacklock is just
I must confess, Jonathan, I thought he'd gone himself and spoiled the movement, but he didn't.
He tried to, and he made sure the pass was over the shoulder. Was definitely back.
And Gareth Rayner, well, he has to take it, and he takes it well.
Definitely goes for the break, but that's another great pass by Blacklock. Rayner scores.
Good positioning too by the touch shoes, Mr. Phil Bentham, right on the spot. Gareth Rayner came back to rugby league after a spell with the Leicester Rugby Union Tigers club. Rough again with a second from the touchline. And another beauty. Oh, tremendous success despite what appears to be a problem with the left of his back there. Come on, you Hull. In the lead then by 12 points to 6. The favourites in trouble.
Yeah, too many numbers.
By number 21, Danny Ruff.
There's the reaction.
John Keary, he can't believe it. Oh, now that he he didn't want to jump up and shriek, did he? The calm coach. But underneath, Jonathan, what will he be thinking now? Well, he will be upset with that.
Well, the bounce was very favourable to Leeds there.
But how many times do you see that, Jonathan, that a team have scored and they relax?
Yeah, you've got to try and take it on the full. Richard Horne wasn't in the best of positions. And now an opportunity for Leeds.
Burrow underneath it. Had very few chances this afternoon to dart and dodge him out as he normally does.
But also when he does those, you know, the crabbing runs across the field, there hasn't been many runners giving him an option.
No. Leeds will want to score quickly. Ali Awatiti. McKenna, who looks to be filling that left centre role, has played centre for Australia even.
Numbers on the right for Leeds.
Maguire out to Sinfield. Mathers. But again, this whole defence is fierce. Packer, the ball's come back. It's a knock on. Or is he saying the ball was ripped out? Yes, he is. Good connection with the touch judge on the far side there, Mr. Phil Bentham. Now then, what will Kevin Sinfield do? Is he going to go for goal or is he going to take a tap? No, he's taking the tap. Willie Poaching drives it in, 9 metres then from this whole line.
Jamie!
Great tackle once again.
Duneman. Sinfield sliding through, can he get it in? Yes, he can! He's walked over! Or is there a whole defender underneath?
See if he got the ball down.
Mr. Ganson is checking whether Danny Ward got that ball down or did he not?
I think Sinfield has been magnificent. The first attempt, he's definitely held up.
Can you hear me, boys?
It all depends.
Does he go down there now?
It's definitely down.
You can hear me.
This is now a decision for Robert Connolly. The ball is definitely down. Is it immediately or not? What is it? That's the call of Robert Connolly.
Well, I don't think it's a double movement or anything like that. I think Danny Ward realised it's in the crook of his arm there and he's just trying to place it down. I think he gets it down there. But again, it's terrific tackling.
Great defence once again. I would feel to give that. I think you've got to give benefit to the attacking side, and I would give that. Definitely held up, isn't he, there?
It looks... Now then, is this where it goes down?
It's very difficult, isn't it?
I've seen the ball eventually on the ground.
I don't think anyone in the ground knows that the Leeds are quiet, fans are quiet, the Hull fans are quiet.
It looks to me as if it's gone down.
I would give it.
Well, I was chatting to Robert Collin this morning. He said if you've got to give them, you've got to give them and forget the consequences. Here it is to try. A roar from 20,000 Milos fans. And boos and grief from 20,000 Hull fans. Leeds back in the game.
And how important are those two conversions off the touchline for Danny Brown, out superb kicks.
And I'm sure his dad, David, who was a proud skipper of this Leeds side and a Challenge Cup win way back against St Helens in the 70s. He'd be thrilled with that. Now then, can Sinfield level the scores? Normally an easy kick for a man of Sinfield's ability, but before a 74,000 plus crowd, the pressure is on. The pressure is off, the 2 points in there, we're back, all square again. All 12, Leeds 12. This is how it came.
Yeah, superb try. Kevin Sinfield throws a dummy once again. Just goes in between two players. Ward is there, good support, that's a try. And this is the post cam. Throws the dummy. I think Sinfield has been superb.
First! Back here, hold.
And there has been substitutions for Hull FC. Number 8, Nichols has replaced number 20, Gareth Garvell. Number 12, Stephen
Dynamite
has replaced number 11, Shank.
beginning to move and dart around that play the ball there. That's what he's got to do. He's got to bring 2 or 3 Hull players on him before he slips that ball. Sinfield. Oh, that's ball back. Kevin Sinfield, I'm sure, looking for a 40-20 kick there. Just puts the ball direct into touch without the bounce, so that's ball back.
Yeah, good idea, you know, get the kick in early, put the pressure on.
Head and scrum to Hull.
Come on, lads. Okay, Willie, lock in.
Richard Horn to feed of the scrum. Brough again, assuming that loose forward roll.
First.
Stephen Kearney.
Second, hold. Stop.
Ewan Dowes.
Third.
Again, another former Leeds Rhinos player in the whole ranks. Richard Horn. This is threatening again. Good ball from Cook. Here's a chance out wide again. Blacklock going up. He's just an all short. Again, good tackling out wide.
He definitely knows where the try line is. Blacklock.
Kirk Yeaman trying to force his way over there. They've got an overlap down this right-hand side. The kick. Well picked up. Oh, what has he done? He's thrown the ball out and Richard Whiting has scored. What a disaster. I've never seen anything like that.
Marcus Pai wanted to pass the ball. He heard a call from someone from Leeds, slipped it out the back, and it went to Richard Whiting's hand. Easy try. Just watch. It's very good play by Pai. He flicks the ball out to Mathers. Whiting reads the play, easily scores. Just watch it.
But why do that, Jonathan? The play has stopped. The momentum stopped.
Well, he just thought, if I can get it to Mathers, I can get it to the in-goal area and we can get on with it. Rather than taking a tackle, that is a huge mistake.
Oh. Massive mistake. And I don't think Richard Whiting could hardly believe what happened, but all credit to that Hull player. He was on the spot and he took advantage. And all credit to Danny Maguire there, having a word with Marcus Pai. And the Leeds side.
Come on, boys.
What with penalty tries and tries like that, this Challenge Cup final's full of incidents. Another one there from Danny Brough. 3 from 3. And Hull back again. 18-12.
You can see McKenna rushes out to the line, so there's a gap there. The bounce favours Leeds and Pai does extremely well until that moment where he throws the silly pass. Can't believe it, Whiting.
Well, you're playing in a Challenge Cup final, aren't you? You're not playing in your mate's backyard, you know. I mean, just can't come to terms with a pass like that.
And there's a big mistake, big mistake.
Leeds have got the ball.
Steal.
It's all action here at the Millennium Stadium.
Good play by Bailey.
6 points the difference. Ali Lawatiti driving down the left. Maguire. Duneman trying to make space. Oh! That's a high tackle.
Wasn't a malicious tackle.
No.
Round the neck, just watch him. He knows he bounces off the ball first.
Sinfield taking a quick tap. 3 metres now from that line. Oh! Leeds trying to play the ball too quickly, lose the opportunity. Hull come driving back, here in the shape of Paul King. Stephen Kearney meets fierce resistance from Ward. Having a very good game is Ward in the front row. Another man here too, Ewan Dowes, and that's the high tackle. Suddenly, tempers rise. And is he worth a shot at goal? I think it is.
I think this is Yemen's run out of defence. The Leeds player said he knocked it on. Well, I thought he did as well, lost control.
Now, we've just seen a kick like that. Why is it the modern player, you tell me, doesn't go for a goal? 2 points there, it means that Leeds have to score twice.
Well, I would have gone for goal, but also, if you don't go for goal, you just make sure that it goes... Oh, that'll go straight in as well. You should have let that go as well, Tony. There's a few mistakes creeping into this game now.
Yeah, Paul lucky to get the ball back there. Stephen Kearney trying to use all his experience in a New Zealand test shirt.
Someone on either Leeds or Hull side have just got to put their foot on the ball, pick their heads up and assess what's going on. A bit of control is needed by certain members of the side.
But both sides moving the ball now from wing to wing. Swain. Richard Horne again. To Cook, back inside to Stephen Kearney. Just can't get it away on the last tackle. Rough, left-footed drop. Mr. Ganson's just checking with the touch judge, it is there. And Danny Brough, a one-pointer for Hull. What an influence this former York City Knights lad's having on this game. 2 years ago, as I said, in the National League 2. Here now, looking for glory.
Good decision.
By number 21, Danny Brough.
Play on, but, well, it was well intended, well thought out by Kevin Sinfield. He had to wait for that ball to go 10 metres, but Hull came up with it. Well to keep hold of that ball, did Paul King. Ewan Dowes. John Keane has worked these prop forwards very, very well from on and off the replacements bench.
The Hull forwards have been superb, absolutely superb.
That's the turnover.
Well, in rugby league it's important to complete your sets, but coach after coach will emphasise the importance of completing the set after you score. Hull scored through Garrett Rayner and they failed to deal with the Leeds kick-off. That resulted in Leeds scoring a try through Danny Ward. In the very next set, Kevin Sinfield kicked the ball out on the full and subsequently Hull have scored. So we've seen mistakes after tries have been scored by the scoring team, which will really, really upset these coaches.
That 1 point drop goal there from Danny Brough making a tremendous difference to this Challenge Cup final. Leeds know now they've got to score twice. They really have to move this ball around. Maguire. Neither Maguire or Burrow been able to stamp themselves on this game. Duneman. Well taken. And offside and tackling while the man is in the air. The catcher of the ball must have his feet on the ground when you go in for the tackle. And I think the Leeds defenders know that. Just coming up to the final quarter of this match. Tony Smith, a worried man.
They just lost their composure a little bit, Leeds, haven't they? Leeds have just lost their composure.
Well, there's no platform being provided for Leeds in midfield for these two half-backs who are gifted half-backs to run.
I just think that, you know, we haven't been allowed to lower platform.
Still a few more scores to come, I think.
Well, if Hull score next, pressure will be on.
Swain doing a wonderful job down the middle. Inspirational captain, Stephen Kearney. These two Kiwis in particular, and Motu Tony, of course. Hull always had a Kiwi contact.
Short,
Here they are coming down that left-hand side. A chance for Hull again! Well then, we'll have to disentangle those bodies.
He's short.
Pretty sure he is short. But he's only just short. Is Yeaman. Blacklock with a little kick and chase. Now that's better. He may have been tackled in the in-goal area, but he hasn't thrown the ball away.
Sit down, Chris, hang on.
Time off, ladies and gentlemen. An angle once again. What an angle. Superb shot. Ball. He is just short.
Chris McKenna still having some trouble. But, well, I thought he'd taken it up to the head, but it looks to be an ankle problem.
And there was the kick again. As he takes it back, just watch. 3 men into the tackle. His leg, his foot just gets caught underneath.
There's a hunger about this whole side now. They're looking to finish the Rhino off. Here they are now, driving again.
First.
Swain. Kearney. I was only saying what a Kiwi connection of Hull have had. I remember the deeds of the likes of Dane O'Hara, Fred Acoy, Gary Campbell, Lou Lawai, all in their last cup campaign in the early 80s. And the Kiwis are doing it for Hull again. Can Leeds get out of this grip?
Didn't need to push the pass there. This is where they want to be, Hull.
First. That's good, man. Second.
Slowly but surely, Leeds moving away from their try line. Just made the half. But they're playing that ball ever so slowly. Good work from Hull, keeping them down there. And good tackling from Yeaman. What a good defensive centre. Sinfield. Wall.
I just feel they're like very, very flat, too shallow.
Maguire back to Ward again. And that symptomatic of this Leeds side. They really are strangled in here. But there's a chance. Collingwood's going for it. No, the ball is dead. There's a bit of argy-bargy there between Marcus Pye and Motu Tony. But I think, Jonathan, those last two played the balls. Leeds, they hadn't a clue what to do with the ball, and that last kick, it just showed the pressure that Hull were putting on them in midfield.
Well, I do feel sorry for Sinfield and Burrows. There is no platform there, and like you said, there is no second line of attack. There is one line, and it's very, very flat.
But Leeds have sufficient talent in this side, sufficient try-scoring ability to pull this game out of the bag. Coming up, 16 minutes remaining, 7 points the difference. And just while we've got a lull in play there, Richard, some news.
Well, the woes are piling up really for the Rhinos, aren't they? Chris McKenna's back on the bench here. He's obviously in some pain, replaced by Lautiti. You wonder what Leeds have got to conjure off the bench. I suppose Rob Burrow is there shading his eyes, watching the low central.
And here is a try from Calderwood. Oh, it's come right out to the
his first lapse in concentration. From a scrum, he just crabs and crabs and crabs. Missed tackle, Blacklock, and he's away. It's as simple as that. It's one missed tackle. He gets through the defensive line, and no one catches him. Just watch. Takes the ball, just drifts and drifts. Blacklock goes high, misses him, and he's away. Brings him back into the game.
Right, lads, it's effort now, 13 minutes. Righty, Phil.
Water and a rest for Calderwood. The pressure on the skipper. And he's up to it. 6 more points for Leeds then. Suddenly, we're in a cauldron here at the Millennium Stadium. But Danny Brook dropped all the difference. 19 points to 18 for Hull. Very few men will catch him when he's away.
There he is. There's really nothing on there, is it? Slips the tackle and he's away. Blacklock won't be happy with that.
Now then, I wonder, Jonathan, will that man come on or will he stay off? Will there be one last throw of the dice with him?
Second, good effort.
Come on, what do you think?
I'm not really sure yet. I don't know what to think.
Well, I don't know what to think about this game. It's certainly going either way. And 1 or 2 mistakes are coming now. A lot of tired people out there. As we said, Leeds have some skillful players. None more so than this man, Ali Lawatiti.
Back to 6 as well.
Back to 6 more tackles.
6 more tackles.
Ward. Very early to prop forwards to get the man of the match, but he'd be one of my contenders.
Yeah.
He's had a terrific match.
Well, you could pick anybody from the Hull pack.
Sinfield in for some rough treatment. Diskin, Ian Bailey. The Leeds pack beginning to gain in confidence now. That's a good move by Diskin. And suddenly the pressure is all on the men from East Yorkshire there in Hull. Duneman. Walk can't get away. Can't get the ball away either. On the last tackle.
They've gone too wide for a drop goal.
Mathers. A chance again. By to the deed himself. Oh, he blocks it out of the air. Wonderful effort from the man from Papua New Guinea. And Leeds are in the lead. Sensational play here. Oh, what a way to retrieve your mistake. Marcus By.
Well, I felt for the first time in the game, that was a great set by the forwards. They all took the drive in, they set the field position up. It's a well-executed kick. And how to redeem yourself. He gets higher than Tony, and he is going under the sticks. And what a reaction, what relief for Marcus By. But put that down to the Leeds forwards. When they had a repeat set of 6, Ward went up, Bailey went up. They got in a great field position, and that is their reward.
He's only 5'9" is this little man from Papua New Guinea, former Port Moresby Vipers. But didn't he soar in the earth, Jonathan? No problem whatsoever.
Need a few stitches tonight.
It's all about timing. And there's his reaction.
And I think it's relief as well, having given that try away earlier on.
Yes, definite relief.
Sinfield taking his time. 3 out of 3. Over 1,142 points prior to this game. Prolific scorer. 2 more. And suddenly, for the first time since that 9th-minute penalty try, Leeds in the lead.
And now Hull will have to change their tactics, I feel. You know, you're into the last 10. And they've got to go out and try and win this game now.
Well, we have seen Hull base their wins on attack, but Jonathan, they're not as dour a side as many people think. They do score a lot of tries. They've averaged 35 points a match in this Challenge Cup run. 6 tries a game. They've got plenty of talent.
Well, there's no denying that, but I don't think they've been in this position.
Just 5 points the difference, a try and a goal. Oof. Leeds know that nothing is secure yet with a scoreline like that. Gareth Ellis. Terrific entertainment here in this cup tie. And I wonder what Ian Millward's thinking there now.
Oh, I wouldn't like to be the coach at the moment, right? Be biting me nails, because they won the first 20 minutes after half-time. Here, another kick. It's been a kickathon. All the points have come from kicks just about in this game, but you know, they won the first 20 minutes after half-time. Hull, over the last 10 minutes, they've won at Leeds. It's probably what Brian Abel was just saying to me here. Which team's got the most belief and go on with it, because they've had an energy surge through these 2 tries, the Leeds Rhinos. Can the whole team get that surge and get across the try line?
Just less than 10 minutes remaining. Where will this Powergen Challenge Cup trophy, this famous silver trophy, first played for way back in 1896, where will it reside for the next 12 months? Hull or Leeds? Richard Horn. Again, the kickathon continues. Marcus Bai, oh, and he passes it again. I think Richard Mathers will check in the Red Cross stamps on that ball, John.
Oh, I know. Well, he was in the field of play then, so that was one bonus.
I still wouldn't have passed it. That might have been a forward, though. Now it's Titi. Beautiful ball.
Great ball.
And Maguire just couldn't get away. That was a good tackle by Richard Swain. He's lost his head guard. Ward again.
Had to be made, that tackle.
Leeds seem to be gaining in confidence. Duneman.
This is where they're getting tired now. Duneman. Barrow is warming up. Will you see him again?
Sinfield. Little stub of a kick. Puts Hull on the back foot. Good recovery though.
It's another pass.
Blacklock. Well, Hull have got to get some points back on the board now, haven't they? Coming up for 8 minutes remaining.
Second. Third.
Needs a huge effort now from these Hull forwards to take the ball off it. Good run there from Jamie Thackeray, but we're on the 5th tackle. Oh, and Diskin traps the ball soccer style.
It was a good ploy there. Horn is going to put the kick in behind the play of the ball, and Blacklock was flying to get it.
Second.
Leeds, you wonder, are caught into attitudes, are they? Do they play sort of a what we have, we hold, Jonathan, or have they got to go for another try?
I think they're going to go for another try.
Yeah.
I think that's the way they've played all season. They're very confident in their own ability, especially offensively. They will look to close this game.
Mathers. Sinfield. Duneman again, he's been very, very instrumental. Oh, here's a chance! It's still anybody's there! No. Touch judge Mr. Bentham right on the spot again. A battle there with Calderwood and Blacklock.
I'd have gone for a field goal there. 6 points.
First.
Do you, Ray, would you have made that 6 points?
I would have had a go at drop goal, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Swain.
At least you're safe then, you know, for the draw with 7 minutes to go.
Good carrying of the ball again by Thackeray.
All his forwards must be out on their feet, Ray.
Cook, beautiful ball. Oh, superb slip of a pass down there, but that was good cover tackling by Sinfield.
Great ball. Newman just overrun it a little bit.
Either of these two sides can still win this game. It needs one try and a goal to clinch it either way. Richard Horn, Cook. Well, he's 6'5", is Paul Cook. He managed to get that ball back, but he's put Brough in trouble.
That's a lovely kick once again. Superb kick.
Yes, Mathers can't leave it. He's got to bring it out. Just over 5 minutes remaining here. 5 points the difference. Leeds desperate to retain possession here.
Nice and calm.
The 20,000 plus Hull fans roaring them on. Can they get back in this game? They've had Leeds on the back foot all the way through this game. Diskin. Sinfield been inspirational. He's kept plugging away in the middle when times were bad for Leeds.
I think, yeah, you know, it's a very difficult choice for the press today for the Lansdowne man of the match. But I think, you know, any of the Hull forwards could win it. But I feel Sinfield has been absolutely magnificent for Leeds. You know, he's battered, he's bruised, he's cut. You know, but he's took the ball on.
And as I look around this pitch, Jonathan, so many of these lads are almost walking. They've given every ounce of energy.
There will be another try, I feel. I definitely think there'll be another try. People are tired.
It'll be in 4 minutes. What's all that's remaining here? 24 points to Leeds. Hull 19. One last desperate effort surely coming from Hull. They've got to take the ball up. They've got to get within striking range. Richard Hall, that's a good run. On the 5th tackle. Will we see a high towering kick? No, not, they're running it. They can rub it. Oh, the pressure's still on. That's another 6. Another 6 tackles to Hull. Now then, can they snatch the Challenge Cup here from Leeds grass? 5 remaining. 10 metres from the line. Richard Horn swings it back to the left. There's danger out here. Cook's going through. He's underneath the post. Unbelievable. Paul Cook, the hero of the semi-finals. Will he be the hero of the final? You said they would score again, but you didn't know who, Jonathan.
They should have gone with a drop goal, Leeds. I said that. Get the 6 points up. This guy is through. A great dummy and walls through. Great change of direction. Horn throws it. He runs at Danny Ward. Number 15, he's shot it. Misses the tackle.
And this says a lot for the reserves of energy, the resilience and the character of this whole side. Paul Cook striding through.
Really focused, Phil.
And he puts it down under the post. Now then. Danny Brough with the kick. Underneath the post. And this is no easy kick. Memories of that famous one from Don Fox way back when Wakefield Trinity were looking for success over Leeds. Here is Danny Brough. He kicks it. The 2 points are there. The seconds are counting down. Challenge Cup on its way to Hull, courtesy.
This is the mistake. It's not really a mistake. It's a very, very good kick. He gets the ball. They unnecessarily get the ball, but a great change of direction. And as the ball comes back, just watch this guy here. Stop it there. There's the guy. He's going to waltz through there, and he's away.
He's knocked on. Now then, the drama isn't over. There's one last chance here towards the Leeds. It's another 6 tackles. 1 point the difference. Will somebody go for a drop goal and make a draw, Jonathan?
They've got to set the drop goal up, I think. There's got to be great length on this drop out. This is the mistake once again. Ball goes down, and again they haven't taken it on the full. Knock on, knock back, gone dead.
And that is a very good kick.
Great kick.
Puts Leeds back something like 60 metres. Willie Poulting knows what he's got to do. He's got to drive it forward. 60 seconds remaining.
Got to go for the field goal.
The last 6 tackles of the match. They've got to go into the middle.
Got to go midfield.
They've got to
go
find
midfield.
Sinfield or Maguire for the drop goal. Willie Poulting. Terrific run.
They've got to go 2 more drives midfield, Ray.
Who will take it? Maguire. Oh, it should have been a forward, surely. I think this is the opportunity for Sinfield. He's having a go. Oh, it's charged down. Hull got the ball. That surely will be the last effort.
They went too early. They went too early for the drop goal, Ray. There's no way they should have done that.
Well, he had a lot of space, Jonathan, but to all credit to Hull, they got up there. They'll just hold this ball. It's a penalty. They're waiting for the countdown. The hoot has gone. It's all over. And Hull are the winners. And John Keane is flat on his back. He's planned this for a long, long time. He did it with Sheffield Eagles against all the odds against Wigan. And Tony Smith, the Leeds Rhinos coach. But the game is not over. We have to restart. Apparently, the hooter could not go. Whilst Mr. Ganson was having a word. They have played on. It's all over. He round the ball immediately to touch. And it's all over now. What drama. He might not have had the magnificent flowing rugby, but it has had drama the likes of which I've not seen for the many, many a year in the Challenge Cup.
We mentioned about the game breakers coming into their own, and they just changed direction. Horn fed Cook. Ward was tired, threw the dummy, and he went.
Well, wonderful effort. 4 tries apiece, including a penalty try. And I think we've got John Keir down there on the touchline.
John Keir, you've done it again. You've done it again. What's the secret, John?
The secret's working with a great bunch of fellas who'll get out there and give their absolute all week in, week out. And this has been building from November. They deserve all the plaudits. They've been magnificent, and I'm a little excited.
Did you think it was gone when Marcus Bai went over towards the end for Leeds?
It's never over till the fat lady sings. Let's use all the cliches, because we've won it.
Danny Bruff's with us. How tense were you on that final goal kick?
I was tense. I just didn't want to mess up for boys. But today we've stuck together. We've had his belief. We've had all his meetings, and we thoroughly knew we'd win today. That's belief from all the lads, the coaching staff, and everything.
You had a game plan, and you just stuck to it. You stifled Leeds out of the game, didn't give them a platform.
Yeah, we did. Just panicking a bit at the end there when Marcus went over. But it's about belief again, like I say. And I think we stuck in there and we did real well.
Just a word about these fans have been terrific for you.
Oh, mate, semi-final, any game you go to with these fans, all fans home and away, they're always there chanting and willing us on.
Congratulations, Danny. Go and enjoy.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Well, we talked beforehand to Kath Hetherington and to her husband Gary, who was with the Leeds team. You have finally done it with Hull.
Fantastic play. It's all I've ever wanted. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
And have you seen your husband yet and rubbed it in?
To be honest, I forgot about my husband. We played fantastic. It's been a fantastic game. Fantastic advert for the game.
And it looked, I mean, until the last 3 minutes, it looked like Leeds were going to win it.
Yeah, but we never say die. And obviously, our name's been on that cup.
Well, it's the most fabulous atmosphere down here. Kath, I'll let you go and enjoy it with the players. Well done, well done.
Motu, Tony, what a way to win a Challenge Cup final.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere today, and the boys done well to come back after Leeds got descended. Ascendancy late in the second half.
It was ever so tense. Were you expecting it to be close?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tight game. You know, we haven't got the stars that Leeds have got, so we've got to play them in an arm wrestle sort of game.
Will the folks be watching back home down under?
Yep, my folks are watching back home in New Zealand. I love you, Mum and Dad.
Thanks very much, Motu. Richard Swain's here, the Hull captain. Richard, a very proud moment in your career.
No, very proud. One of the best moments of my life, actually. We had control of the game, and then we kept turning over too much silly ball. And they came back into the game like a great team they are. And you know, Paul Cook pulled something out of the bag at the end to get us through.
Did you feel that you were running out of gas when Marcus Bai went over for that late try? It looked like you'd thrown it away.
I knew if we could just complete our sets, we'd get back in there, and a nice little kick by Shane McManamy up there, and I think Calderwood spilled it, so you know we just built some momentum around that.
Thousands of Hull fans here to see you. Big party tonight.
Oh, massive. No, they've been fantastic. Great atmosphere here today.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
Astonishing stuff. Pandemonium in the Millennium Stadium after one of the best Challenge Cup finals that Cardiff has ever seen, one of the best Challenge Cup finals the game has ever seen. And we'll get the reaction of Brian and also Ian Millward. Marcus Bai, what kind of emotions has he experienced in the last hour or so? Let's hear from him.
Marcus, a dramatic, controversial, a classic game, but did you think you'd won it with that try?
No, well, I thought I won it for the boys now, and I made one mistake there, and maybe they scored 2 tries from there, and yeah, you know, I thought it was a winning try, you know, and still we got a couple of minutes to go, and you know, they just kept coming back, and you know, good on them.
Judging by your reaction after you scored the try, it looked as though you'd made up for the mistake that you made, really.
Yeah, I thought, you know, exactly right. I thought I made up for the mistake, and I think full credit to Mark Calderwood who got us back into it, and then I sort of scored a winning try. But you know, it's always the case. You know, you have to fight till 80 minutes. So they did it today, and they deserve to win.
It's the narrowest of defeats. I expect that's no consolation.
Yeah, it is. You know, we just got to bounce back again next week now, and pretty disappointing for us, but you know, we still got a long way to go. So
thanks, Marcus. Well played. Thank you.
What a performance! What a match! And the reaction of the Hull coach John Keir on the final whistle. Just look at this. The whistle goes. He knows he's worked the miracle again. And John Keir, well, he hits the deck, but his team certainly didn't. What a performance by Hull. Brian, Ian, sum up that match and what we've seen from both these sides this afternoon.
Oh, the emotions involved, and you know, and even if you're just a neutral spectator here today, the emotions. One of the best second halves you've seen because it ebbed and flowed, and you know, little error created a try opportunity. When do you ever think a game's won? When do you ever give up? And they were probably all the analogies that's going through the players' mind now after they've won. It's fantastic.
Huge performance, but somewhat in vain from Kevin Sinfield. Our thoughts for him. Let's hear from the man of the match, the winner of the Lance Todd Trophy.
Yes, Steve, Kevin, the man of the match, winner of the Lance Todd Trophy, but on the losing side. What's your reaction?
Disappointed. Best team won today. Credit to our guys, we stuck in, we had the character, and you know, we didn't have much petrol left. There were lads with cramp, lads struggling towards the back end, but it happens in sport, doesn't it? But all the best side on the day, they fully deserve it.
There were controversial decisions, there were controversial moments of the game. Do you think they even themselves out over the time?
No, you win some, you lose some. We're not going to mourn about any refereeing decision. Like I said, I thought the best team won on the day, and we'll cop that.
Commiserations, Kevin, thanks.
Gave absolutely everything and more, Kevin Sinfield, today. Brian, your thoughts at this point?
2 different sets of emotions, a huge low for Leeds, and emotionally we've been on both sides of the fence, and wow, what does this do for Hull as a city? I thought it was a terrific second half. It went from a punching of 2 heavyweights, all of a sudden 2 middleweights got in there and were throwing punches and passes and controversial decisions and kicks. What a super second half.
You'll have feelings for the Leeds coach Tony Smith, I'm sure. Let's hear from him.
Tony, that will obviously go down as a classic Rugby League Cup final, but do you care about that?
No, not really. You know, I thought we were very, very close without playing particularly well. I thought we made a few errors, and you know, that really cost us in the game. And you know but that's what you do when you're under pressure, I suppose. But we weren't far from taking it anyway.
Was the decision to play Keith Seeney with his injury the right one in retrospect?
Yeah.
You think it was?
Yeah.
And the closeness of the game, you must have thought that you could just snatch it at the end with a drop goal, but didn't happen.
Yeah, it was within a few minutes of it, you know, so, you know, unfortunately we come up with a miss there at the end, but, you know, there's some things that we look at with some of our retention of kicks and, you know, in our own area, and we gave a couple of soft ones, so, you know, we're within 5 minutes of it.
Great game, though. Commiserations. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
The cup then goes to Hull by the narrowest of margins and in one of the most glorious of contests. Let's go back to Ray for the presentation.
Yes, thank you, Steve. And, well, the Hull fans have not settled down yet. It's the first Challenge Cup win, and they are determined to celebrate it, and they will celebrate long into the night. They've waited a long time, 23 years. In fact, and I think we've got a word with Brian Carney before the presentation.
Such a contrast in this stadium, as Ray was saying. The Hull fans going absolutely mad. The Leeds fans, well, a lot of them have already left. Real dejection in that half of the stadium. Brian Carney watched it all, though. Has to go down as one of the best cup finals ever, doesn't it?
Without a doubt, one of the most exciting. Leeds are a champion side, but the day belongs to Hull. That's a fairy tale ending for them. Stephen Kearney stood up during the week and he spoke to the Hull players, and he said to all the people that hadn't played in big games, he wanted to win this game, not for his own personal glory, because he's won trophies, but to see the looks on their faces, and he's got his wish today.
An absolutely extraordinary match, an incredible result, but you backed them, you knew it before the match started.
I'm quids in tonight.
Can't be shouting the rules anyway.
The Hull fans waiting for the two teams to go up. The Right Honourable the Lord Ashley of Stoke just presenting the match officials. Steve Ganson, Phil Bentham, Steve Wright, Peter Meadows, Ashley Klein and company with their medals. And Leeds, well, they've lost. They know they've lost, and so does that man, the skipper, Kevin Sinfield. He would, I'm sure, trade that Lance Todd trophy for anything. But it's not to be. Leeds, they won their previous two encounters in 1910 and 23. Keith Senior just managed 40 minutes of the action. Chris McKenna, he looks to be in a bad way too with that left leg, Jonathan. Rob Burrow.
If you had a look at them all, they've all, you know, they're down now because of the way they lost, but they absolutely gave everything. Leeds, Smith said, didn't play their best, but, you know, they gave everything. Just look at the state on Kevin Sinfield.
Yeah, a lot of work from these forwards. Danny Ward did so much. All Leeds back in with that try. Ali Lawatiti didn't manage to get many of his spectacular offloads. Couple of tries there from Calderwood. Gareth Ellis.
Kevin Sinfield, the winner of the Lance Todd Trophy.
And Willie Poulting, well, his fractured cheekbone has survived, but it's a loser's medal. They can hardly look to pick up the losers' medals. And Kevin Sinfield, the Lance Todd Trophy winner, presented in honour of the famous New Zealand player who was a coach with Wigan and Salford.
He'll have a few stitches in that.
He certainly will. The second Leeds player in recent years to receive the Lance Todd Trophy on a losing side. We remember Gary Connolly at fullback a couple of years ago. And the Leeds players will regroup. They'll come back again. They've still got a lot to play for. The grand final is at stake. They're battling in first and second spot there with St Helens. A lot will come from the amber and blue, yes. And now the whole side, the winners of the 2005 Challenge Cup, for only the third time in history. 13 attempts. As I said, they've lost twice before to Leeds. Last victory back in 1982, and it will mean so much, will this victory, to the people back there in the city of Hull.
They've got a great following, haven't they? And they've just played magnificently well throughout the Challenge Cup run. Thoroughly deserve their success.
Danny Brough there, whose drop goal has proved the difference, and those kicks from the touchline. Paul Cook with a wonderful try in the closing minute. Stephen Kearney, what a way to finish his career over here in England. He'll relish that with the big Kiwi.
The winning captain, Richard Swain of Hull FC, will
great moment there for Lord Ashley of Stoke, a great rugby league fan himself. And now, the presentation of the trophy to the skipper, Richard Swain. And there it is, the 36-inch high silver trophy will stand at the KC Stadium in Hull for the next 12 months, and deservedly so. Richard Swain, the skipper, Australian by birth, but Kiwi international, joined Gary Campbell, Lulu and Dane O'Hara as Kiwis who have won Challenge Cup winners' medals in those irregular black and white hoops. They've beaten Wakefield Trinity, Bradford Bulls, Leeds St Judas at St Helens, and now the Leeds Rhinos.
The moment that Hull FC have dreamt of for years. Kath Etherington, John Keir, their dreams are realised in the most dramatic fashion this afternoon. We've just about got time, Brian, Ian, to look back on the key moments of that astonishing second half. And first of all, the moment of aberration for Marcus Bai that seemed to have thrown it all away from the Leeds point of view.
Well, everybody could see what he was doing, but everybody was saying, no, please pull it back. I think we were screaming in the box, myself and Ian said, pull it back, please pull it back. You could see he just wanted to get out of his in-goal area. And if these come off, nobody says anything. When they don't, it's the magnifying glass. This is where we're all screaming, please don't pass it, please don't pass it. And Richard Whiting said, thank you very much, I've passed it. Gave Hull huge momentum at the start of that second half.
Well, it was like one of those Don Fox moments at the time. He was desolate, and then about 10 minutes later produced this.
Well, he's got the momentum here. He's standing flat there, Montutone, so he out-jumps him. But we talk about running in rugby league and defence, but what about the skill of kicking? It was on display here today. So many tries from kicking, and that's just another byproduct of a kick pressure.
But the winning try as Hull came back yet again. Paul Cook, great pressure, and they deserved it, didn't they?
Well, they did, you know. We kept talking about that left-hand side. They like to go, and they were having great luxury down there in space. And what a better person to do it. Local hero, Hull boy, phased with a dummy, beats him with a fade of the pass, comes up the try, and this is one of the best moments of your life, you know. And you know, I mean, every supporter just hopes their team can win, and every player coach wants to be part of something like this. And you know, whoa, there goes the backflip. He couldn't run the last couple of minutes, he was that tired, but that's what it does to you. It gives you an any surge. It's fantastic.
Wonderful final. Brian, Ian, thanks very much indeed. Ian, you almost forgot the cricket for about 20 minutes there. It was terrific, terrific stuff. Quick word before we go from here in Cardiff about Sunday Grandstand tomorrow. A look back 25 years at the Moscow